Cebu City is the capital of the Central Visayas region and one of the nation's most vibrant economies. Infrastructure development continues to pour into Cebu, such as Cebu Bus Rapid Transit Project, Cebu Public Transport Modernization Project, Cebu Urban Mass Rapid Transit Central Line, Cebu Mactan Bridge, Coastal Road Construction Project, Consolacion Liloan Bypass Road Project, Metro Cebu Expressway, New Cebu International Container Port Project, Bacong International Airport, and so much more. This is Asia CEO Cebu 2024, presented by Robinson's Land and Philly Hotel Cebu, with major sponsors Airspeed, IXC, KMC Solutions, Consulta MD, Maybach, and Sprout Solutions. Welcome to Asia CEO Cebu 2024.
And now, let's welcome Mr. Richard Mills.
Thank you very much. So nice to see such a lovely, energetic group. And you know, I was talking with some people here, and you know, the first time I came out to Philippines 20 years ago, there was only one bridge across, and it was traffic, it was difficult. But each time we come, it just gets magical. And when we see the amount of progress that is happening, and Robinson's Land did kind of, sponsor the event and paid for our meals, but aren't they doing just a fantastic job in Cebu? Well, Philippines as well, but I never expected last night when we came into this beautiful facility that such a thing could happen in Cebu now. And I understand they started this, before COVID, and then kept on going all the way through, losing money hand over fist. I don't know whether, but it seems to me if I was building it, but they kept doing it and finished it and made a beautiful thing, and still lots of things going on. So I'm going to announce it, we're trying to finagle a little special tour of some really special places after. Anybody who wants to join, please do. I'm told it's really special, the things that they're working on and have done here. So yeah, we're really impressed. It really becomes we talk about first world and all this kind of stuff, but this is really hitting the mark. You can bring people from any country in the world to this facility and they would feel it is the first world, except one big difference is the people are nicer. When we walked in last night, they were the nicest, sweetest bunch of people, right? In other places, a lot of the world, they're aging, it's getting, but here we have smiling, lots of really good quality young people that can do this work, and it's really a tremendous asset. And speaking of, workers and real world-class people, I was talking to some of the people here. We have a group from Innodata here, sorry. Where's our Innodata group? I'm getting mixed up here. Okay, Innodata. Here is one of the nation's first, or one of the Cebu region's first locator doing real world-class work. Even now, a tremendous history of human capital development is the fashionable term. So we're pleased to have them. Lexmark, another premier employer, moving expats here with big, we're going to see, he's going to stand up in any time here. Stand up here so people can take a look. Beside him, we had a Dagny of Concentrics with 30,000 people just in the area around here, 110, 107,000, the largest private sector employer in the nation. Tremendous, outrageous success. We have the Airspeed group, another come from nothing company, started from scratch and built up, and really a lot of great stories. Just maybe I can point out people from the Philly Hotel here. We have quite a number here. Please, can you stand up so people can take a look? There was some more. What are they hiding? Okay, all right. Oh yeah, here they are. Okay, very good. Yeah, so it's very professional group and the kind of things that they're doing. CEBO, the Cebu IT BPM organization. We have Buddy here with us, doing a fantastic job of promoting that, high growth, high job, highly paid jobs as well to people here. I'll just point a couple more. Our PLDT friends, of course. Yes, always supporters and pals of ours, as well our friends from Globe Telecom. Also, they're less, a bit more shy, are they? Okay. Prime Philippines, I think also flew in from somewhere to be with us. Okay. Okay, I pointed out the Philly Hotel, but Robinson's Land also have a group based here. They're going to stand up any second here. Come on up. Also flew in from, you should see some of their developments in Metro Manila as well. Also doing the same thing of really leveling up, and it's impressive. Tech Mahindra, we have Patrick Salazar here, another big employer. And then WePro, our WePro group here, we have Pushpas and Faye we'll see up on the stage. So we have, I'm pleased, some of the largest, many of, if not all of the largest employers of the nation. Even Timex Group is here. Where's our Timex people? Oh, okay. Well, anyway, we hope everybody can meet. There's a lot of others as well along the way, because it's really an exciting time. When we go across the country, we really see a lot of different centers. On Friday we'll be in Clark, another area. You're all welcome to come on up there and exchange ideas and so forth, see what they're doing. But this is impressive. Cebu, really, anybody who doesn't believe, you can really see the future here. It's going to be, in Metro Manila, tremendous things going on there as well, but it's getting crowded and it's getting more difficult. I think the growth is really going to be in places like Cebu going ahead. So let's get started with, just let us talk about this facility here. So we're going to have Cami De Jesus come on up. She's AVP of Sales here, and talk about this facility and the contributions that it's making to the entire region, and really is preeminent in hotel and restaurant management in this region. So please,
actually, Richard,
it's all yours.
You stole some words out of my welcoming remarks.
Right,
thank you for
please.
that.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay, maayong buntag sa inyong tanan and welcome to New Star Resort Cebu, the first and only integrated resort in the Visayas and Mindanao region. We welcome back those who have been to our property. I see some familiar faces at the back. Lana, Osmeña, hello, over there. And delightfully welcome those who are visiting the property for the first time. Allow me to briefly talk about the development and the journey that we have traversed to bring forth a project of this magnitude. For those who do not know, the vision of creating New Star was born right before the pandemic. Richard, you were right. And we were actually planning and building during two major hurdles in the globally and locally, COVID-19 and the Typhoon Odette. But the commitment to the vision was stronger than any of these challenges combined. The esteemed stakeholders of the Gokongwei Group, together with the seasoned executives in the gaming, hospitality, and real estate industries, soldiered on to build a 300,000 square meter entertainment and luxury lifestyle destination in Cebu City to pave way for opportunities in the business and tourism sectors of this metropolis. A perfect complement to the highly progressive Cebu City, we endeavored to bring many firsts to the market. For example, Mount 32, a global restaurant chain that is present in major integrated resorts worldwide, chose New Star and Cebu as its first and only destination and location in the Philippines. Our sister company, Robinson's Hotels and Resorts, also introduced Philly Hotel, which is the first five-star hotel brand fully owned and operated by a Filipino company. Philly Hotel boasts of 379 well-appointed rooms and an F&B selection that pays homage to the rich and diverse Filipino cuisine. Philly soon will be experienced in other parts of the Philippines, so do watch out. With its aggregate gross floor area of over 4,000 square meters, the meetings, incentives, conventions, and exhibitions, or MICE area in New Star, featuring 3 flexible ballrooms, is the largest outside of Metro Manila. The Grand Ballroom alone can host up to 2,000 guests for formal setups and up to 3,000 guests for theater-style setups, making it the perfect venue for private, corporate, and entertainment events. Now, the New Star Ballroom, where we're at right now, can accommodate 350 guests, while the Philly Ballroom can host up to 150 guests. We also have 9 other function rooms that you guys can go around. So you look for Barbie later on. She will be giving you a tour of New Star to really showcase to this group what we have in store for the Cebu City, the Visayas region, and the whole of Philippines. If you do get the chance, please do find time to visit our luxury retail area. The mall at New Star is now the most coveted luxury retail destination in the Philippines, the first of its kind outside Metro Manila, featuring world-renowned brands such as Louis Vuitton, Bulgari, Dior, Tiffany, and just please walk around to check out the other brands in the property. New Star will soon feature The Stage, which is the first ever performing arts theater here in Cebu. It's a 1,300-seater theater that will be a venue exclusive for productions, musicals, and concerts of that size. We will also have a leisure and water park, 13,000 square meters in GFA, that will be another first here in Cebu City in the Visayas region. So watch out for that. We will be launching that in the first quarter of 2025. We're also excited to launch the Sky Deck, a viewing deck that will highlight 180-degree views of Mactan Island and Cebu City, further cementing what New Star truly is, to be an iconic destination. Looking ahead, we will also be introducing our third tower, the Grand Summit, specifically designed to cater to the MICE events, enhancing our capacity to host major activities and conferences. When we opened our doors in 2018, it became our mission to showcase and breathe to life a product that is truly world-class, one that would rise to become a must-visit destination here in the Philippines due to its iconic offerings, and a venue that would host remarkable events such as this one, bringing together like-minded individuals destined to propel the Philippines to the success and the heights that it's living up to. And here we are now, hosting this year's Asia CEO Awards at New Star with the brightest executives and mavericks in the industry. Advanced felicitations to the organizers of this event and to the speakers who are trailblazers in their own fields, who will undoubtedly inspire our audience, imparting wisdom and insight. Again, on behalf of New Star, we are delighted to have everyone here, and thank you for making us part of this community.
Very good. Thank you very much. Yeah, so join us. I'm definitely going on this little tour, so I'm looking forward to it. Let's get going now with Patrick Gloria of Globe. He's VP and head of the nation's external affairs. Please come on up.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for inviting us, Richard and Rebecca. Thank you so much. Raul, thank you. Wonderful facility. I'm always here every weekend. No, it's not me. It's my mother-in-law. She likes to do the casino thing. All right, so it's a long presentation, but I'll do my best to make it fast so that you can understand as well. Basically, I want to talk about what's going on with Globe. And yes, Hazel, I got you. We're talking about the telecom industry. And we'll tell you what are the trends are, what are we doing, what are those stuff. So, in everything we do in Globe, we always start with our why. Why are we doing this? What for? Something beyond the numbers, which gives us purpose, okay? Bigger than just the headlines. In today's digital world, connectivity, as you all know, is no longer a privilege. It is a right. In fact, let me just be very vocal about it. People bitch a lot if they don't have internet. That's why I brought Maggie. Is Maggie here? Maggie? Okay, Maggie's over there. She's our platinum head for Visayas. So you can complain to her, not me. Sorry. Our initiatives are not just about connecting devices. They're about connecting families, enabling businesses to flourish, and empowering the entire nation. A vibrant and prosperous nation is built upon foundation of healthy and educated human capital, which I will talk to you a little later. Today, I want to emphasize the importance of investing in our people, our constituents, who are also our customers. We are here to serve you. Okay? So get going, Meg, because they get serving. This is precisely why we at Globe maintain an unwavering focus on people. We believe in following their journey, understanding their unique needs, and addressing them through technology. 10 years ago, when we started this this drive, we entered into a pandemic as a telecommunications company, and we emerged as the Globe Group, a digital solutions group that with more than 32 companies under our portfolio, and with business interests in telco, health, fintech, entertainment, manpower, IT, digital advertising. We are more than just a telco. We are now called a techco. We continue to serve our customers nationwide with more than 56 million customers, and as such, retained our position as the country's mobile leader. Beyond that, we are also a signatory of the UN Global Compact, with commitments to set science-based targets. In more ways, we are contributing to the nation's economic, social, and environmental sustainability goals. We have definitely gone a long way, but we still have a very long way to go. And while we have several companies within our ecosystem, as you can see, most of you are familiar with it, definitely GCash, I guess. Right? So in Bisaya, it's called GCash. Right? Our KMD, which I will talk about a little later. The very foundation of all of this, and I guess the very foundation of all of your businesses is, guess what? The internet, right? So that's what we need to focus on. Let me just give you a glimpse of how we look like in the Philippines. Okay, and this is taken from Data Reportal. Okay, there are 118 million Filipinos. 73% of that are using the internet for whatever purpose they may use. 73% also are social media users. This gives you an idea how internet takaw Filipinos are. And the demand for more speed and data GB will only grow and grow. Have you noticed that? Who are on TikTok? Come on, don't be shy. Who are dancing in the hallways of the hotel? No? No? All right. I'll still find out because I can look at your account. No. Now, so basically there's a whole bunch of people using the internet. That's about 90% that are having phones. 90% of the total population. Some even have 2 phones. Am I right? All right. So that's not going to go down. In fact, I remember the days when we were selling 1 MB of speed. That cost about 5,000 like 20 years ago. Oops, I just told my age. Okay, 20 years ago, 1 MB was about 5,000 pesos. Now, you give them 100 and they'll tell you it's too slow. No, it's not. Right? Okay. So, in the country, what do we need? Cell sites. Right? The Philippines has over 30,000 cell sites. Actually, no, below 30,000. Right? You divide that by 118 million, that's about 3,900 people sharing one cell site. So you now know the reason why some parts of the country are slow. Right? Let me give you an example. Our neighbors in Vietnam, same number of population, but they have over 90,000 cell sites. If you divide that, that's about 700 people using per cell site. So it's just like a highway. So what's the goal? The goal of the telcos, at the same time the government, is to put up 60,000 cell sites above the 30,000 that we have and what Hazel has and what Dito has, to add to the 60,000 and then just keep on adding and adding. Okay? So that is the deal. Clear so far? Questions? Okay. Our commitment is basically simple: to ensure that we build a robust 4G and 5G LTE network. We are not perfect, nobody is, but we strive to be. Okay, we cannot be in all of the places. That's why you have dead spots, right? But we try to be. Okay, it's not cheap. Okay, I get like 40 complaints every day. Reinvest on continuous improvements and build to our network facilities. How do we do that? Basically, all our 40%, 30% of our income every year goes back to the network. We move from a telco-based one to a product and services that will enrich the lives of our customers. And lastly, we ensure that all our programs are sustainable. Okay, moving forward for the future. There was a big, in the last few years, we've seen a big leap in network builds of all telcos. Why? Because this of the Bayanihan law that was introduced during the previous administration. Okay, we used to get. I'll give you an idea. We used to get permits for a cell site, and it's at 28 permits in a span of a year and a half. Okay. When the Bayanihan law was launched, it was down to about 7 or 8 permits in 7 days. So the builds of all the telcos from one cell site is now down from 1 year and a half to about 4 months to 5 months, given that you don't have any issues, right? So that's the goal. Another thing also that the government is also introduced are tower companies. Have you heard about the tower companies? Okay, these are the tower companies. Tower companies actually just build towers, okay, all over the country. They're the multiplier effect of towers. So they build, we rent, we put our equipment right there, and it multiplies significantly the number of towers that we have in the country, because we build about 1,000, 1,500 cell sites per company. So let's just say that's 4,500 cell sites for the three of us, but they build about 3,000 per tower co, and there are 6 of them. So that will really help us build more cell sites, get you more connected. But despite all of this, we still need help. These are the help that we need. Number one is to institutionalize the telco provision requirements, meaning we need to update the building code. When people build buildings, the consideration is always water, electricity, and rightly so. But now I think it's very important that provisions for telco are considered. Who among you here have purchased condos or LC Promotoa? Purchase from them. Okay, discount. What is the first thing that people ask? RLC. What do they ask? May internet ba kayo dyan? Is it fiber? Arte pa no? Hindi pa. Do you have fiber? That's the first thing that they ask. Even in restaurants, what is the first thing you do when you go to a restaurant? You don't ask for the menu, do you? No, you don't. You ask for the password for the Wi-Fi. Am I correct? And we'll teach you Wi-Fi calling later. Right? I taught some of these. Okay? So that's what you need to update the building code. Number 2, LGU ordinances based on telco provisions. Okay, same thing but only LGUs. All right. So we need that to happen. Here's a tricky subject: zero lease. And you will see in the yellow side why we need zero lease. Right? The capital expenditure for telco is quite big. And it's not one time, it's always repeating. Why? Because the customers always want more data. So you need to add more cell sites, more equipment. It's not cheap, right? Unlike water or electricity, you set it up one time, that's it, right? Not for telco. So now we're working with different companies and different LGUs to agree on zero lease. You know how much and I'm not going to say the role is here. All right. In Cebu, let's talk about Cebu. Cebu has always been the beneficiary of many builds. I think not just for us, but also for PLDT, I guess, and for DITO. I know DITO, definitely. These are the breakdowns of the cell sites that we've done in Cebu. Okay. For the last 5 years, let's talk about wired broadband. We've built 241,000 fiber to the home. That's the fiber that you see in the house. So it's basically one house. It's Wi-Fi in the house. It's 241,000 houses. Okay, since the pandemic. 30% of that is in Cebu City, 12% is in Mandaue, 12% is in Lapu-Lapu, and 46% is in the province of Cebu. Rightly so, because the province is composed of 44 municipalities. That's about roughly, give or take, 27 houses per municipality. For cell site, same thing, right? Same thing. And how do we engage that? How do we do it? We have a framework we follow and guiding principle. We understand that digital transformation initiatives must prioritize inclusivity. Let me repeat that. We understand that digital transformation initiatives must prioritize inclusivity. In our efforts to connect people, we've established program pillars that serve as guiding principles for all the LGUs, enabling them to efficiently develop initiatives tailored for their communities. This approach facilitates improved delivery of public services, ultimately fostering a more resilient, sustainable, and progressive citizenry. Our program pillars are aligned with the 5 pillars of the CMCI, or the Cities and Municipalities Competitive Index. And it's a very good tool, okay? And let me show you what the CMCI is. That's the CMCI, right? And that's an example also. Bohol is the 57, right? There are 5 pillars that the DTI and LGUs follow, right? So if you rank, and they're ranked like highly urbanized cities, municipalities, first class, second class, third class, and you need to, their goal is to up their score in these pillars. If these are up, investors are definitely coming in. I'll give you a perfect example. A good friend of mine, Mayor Jerry Treñas of Iloilo, and have you seen Iloilo now? They're number 1 in their class in government efficiency. So everybody wants to work with them. Everybody wants to go to Iloilo. Everybody wants to invest in Iloilo, right? So that's how it goes. Constructing a framework presents its own set of challenges. Then what we do is we put our purpose right in front of it. Together, we will strive to realize our vision, ensuring that every constituent has access to appropriate technology that aligns with your digital transformation roadmap. At Globe, we are committed to fostering digital inclusivity by assembling comprehensive solutions that catalyze progressive and grassroots level. And most importantly, education. I mean, a lot of people, and let me just talk about this. A lot of people say, digitize this, digitize that, digitize this. Okay, can you? And then I ask them, can you turn on your Wi-Fi? And then they say, what's a Wi-Fi? So there's a big disconnect on technology and education, right? I'll give you another example. When people ask me, and they do this a lot, they say, Pat, ang pangit ng signal ko. My signal's bad. What signal? Globe, of course, Globe. You're talking to me, right? So what signal are you talking about? We have two kinds of sources of signal. Your Wi-Fi and your cellular. Which one? Which one? Look at your phone. The one that goes like a staircase is cellular. It comes from the cell site. The one that looks like a fan is Wi-Fi. It comes from the cabinets. So which one are you talking about? See, simple questions, but if not posed properly or not taught properly, becomes a big issue. But it's really not. Okay? Thanks. Here are some of the basic solutions that we've had. The intent is to basically get a company or a group, get their internet, get their solutions in a one-stop shop manner. So if you have issues with, you need help with HR, we have a solution for that. You need for payroll, we also have that. So we're kind of do it all in one. And Sir Patrick knows that because they're our clients. Gcash, let's talk about that. One of the more popular companies that we've had. The Gcash solution, since it was launched, Gcash has grown to be the #1 finance app in the country and has enabled over 33 million registered users to buy, load, pay bills, and save at the comforts of their home. For LGUs, Gcash has become a means to disburse aid and other necessary assistance to their constituents. Did you know that Gcash is now in 16 countries abroad? Anyone been to Japan? To Cologne, Cebu, Cologne, Cebu. No? Germany? Okay. Korea. If you go to these countries, okay, in your app, you will see there, scan me, right? There's a scan. You'll see there at the bottom part, Gcash plus Alipay. Okay, you can use that and pay your bills with that. So I recently went to Japan, tested it, and the exchanges were great because it was direct. So you go to 7-Eleven, you show your QR, or you swipe your card, or you tap your card, and it goes directly. 2 days ago, we already launched in the US. So what does it do? Now all the numbers, international numbers of these countries can now access Gcash, okay, without need for a local number. It's pretty good. Consulta MD. This is something that we're working on. I understand it's very difficult for us to go to hospitals because it takes about 2 hours, 3 hours to sit there and then wait. Okay, not anymore. Okay, so we're trying. Consulta is basically one of the programs that we're doing where you can just subscribe to it. I think it's $5.99 for a year. Then you get to call the doctor, okay, and face to face or online or voice, and then you can do your consultations as well, right? At the same time, provide you with prescriptions. Okay, it now all has a feature where you consult with a doctor. You also get your prescription, and then you get to have your medicines delivered to you. Okay, so that's what we're working on as well. Of course, course, at the end of the day, Globe is still committed to do the 10 out of the 17 UN Sustainable Development Goals. Our sustainable practices as a company is integrated in how we conduct our programs and deliver our service to our customers, particularly UN SDG number 9, which highlights the roles of infrastructure and innovation as crucial drivers for economic growth and development. And the UN SDG 17, which highlights the value of partnerships to achieving sustainable development goals. One of that program is called Hapag Movement, and I invite all of you because it's pretty good. Hapag basically helps in solving voluntary hunger in the country. Now, we just don't go and give food to everyone, right? Again, sustainability. Let me just give you the numbers. Our 2-year impact is we have received about 27 million in donations and pledges at about 13 million. We have fed 95,000 Filipinos, provide livelihood and training programs for about 2,700 people, and started and continued their business that we help is about 2,300. So again, it's about sustaining, making sure that we just don't give them the fish, but we teach them how to fish. And lastly, we're talking about DTP, or Data Thumbprint Program. It's our initiative to actually help educate the people, the students, the teachers, okay, about what is technology. It's not rocket science. No, it's not. People just refuse to try to learn it, okay? The program now has invested with 115,000 teachers, 1.9 million students with access to the program, 4,000 schools that we have reached, and 200 plus DTP ambassadors in the different areas in the country. What does it do? It teaches everyone, from teachers to parents, to students, to friends, how to operate, how to become responsible social media users. Because you see social media, right? It's either they love you or they hate you, mostly 80% hate, right? So we teach people how to be responsible social media users. Lastly, we cannot do this alone. We need your help, we need everyone's help to provide a safe learning environment, better customer experience, and help leapfrog this into the new digital economy. Please do ask questions later during the program later. We do want difficult questions so that we can answer them right away. So thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Patrick. Yeah, very well done presentation, very attractive, and good information too. So yeah, so get ready some difficult questions, like he said, to ask during the panel session. Next, so you can see what a real kind of a premier operator in the industry is. We'll have Patrick Salazar of Tech Mahindra just talk about, you know, human capital and all of these kinds of things. So he has a tech-based operation. Others like Lexmark, Innodata, Concentrix, and so on, you know, each has a different flavor in how they develop people and really make world-class people, much like the people in this hotel are people who, you know, in a few, another year's time will be able to go anywhere in the world and be called world-class. So this is one example of that. So please welcome Patrick Salazar, Global Delivery Head within the Tech Mahindra organization, and a good sales guy and a nice guy. So we'll have a good show, I'm sure.
So when Ferdinand Magellan in 1521 discovered the Philippines, his team actually landed in the Visayas region. Just a few days, they actually landed here in Cebu. All right? And in a few years, they actually declared Cebu as the capital of the Philippines. If you don't know, Cebu is the first capital of the Philippines. And as the capital of any country, you can imagine all the investments happened first here in Cebu. Infrastructure, bridges, the ports, buildings, government, all those agencies, even education, even the center of Christianity, right, happened here in Cebu. All right. And then, of course, later on, as we all know, a few years later, they declared Manila as the capital of the Philippines until today. But as you know, Manila and Cebu being the capital of the Philippines, right, being capital of the Philippines, we became the center, we became the center of commerce, the center of banking, the center of education, the center of anything modern. Through the 1500s until today, all the high-tech stuff of all those years and decades happened and entered the Philippines through Manila and also in Cebu. And even until now, especially for my fellow Cebuanos, right, as we all know, Cebu sits as a capital not only in the Visayas region, but also Mindanao and also from Luzon, right? If you want to send your kids to a really great, have a really great education, you bring them to Cebu. Cebu is always on your list. You want to you enter any business, start any business, engage in any, trade, you have to be in Cebu, right? And if we fast forward that to today, in our IT BPM industry where I belong, and a lot of the participants here are also from the same industry, right? We all are looking at the Roadmap 2028, established not only by IBPAP, but the rest of the different associations, PSIA, CCAP, and the rest, right? Also, part of that is from my own association here in Cebu, Cebu.o, and we'll talk about that more in a bit. The goal, the aspiration is to actually have 59 billion in terms of revenue in 2028, with 2.5 million jobs, direct employees in the IT BPM industry. This is a really big, hairy, and audacious goal for the industry, right? And with all these uncertainties, with all the challenges, we have some threat in the West Philippine Sea and across the globe. Are we able to achieve this, right? Plus the advent of AI, right? We'll try to tackle that as well. So the question now is, for us here in Cebu, what must Cebu do, right? What must Cebu do in order for us to help, or not only help, but actually lead, be the tip of the spear in helping the industry achieve these goals? For us, this looks as just a revenue target and also a job or a headcount target. But for each of the households, this is actually for the family. This is for the Filipinos, right? So what must Cebu do? Couple of factors. And it's quite interesting because a lot of these won't be a surprise. First and foremost would be talent. If we look at the top 10 priorities, I have to say talent is priority number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, up to 10, right? Why? Because in terms of talent, right, we're not only looking at, do you speak better English for you to be able to work in the BPO industry? No, right now we already have AI, and for some folks, they are saying, because of AI, some of the jobs of the contact center may be reduced or greatly, not really eliminated, right? But let's try to tackle that as well. I'm part of the Cebu IT BPM organization, or Cebu.o. One of the projects that we launched is called, it's actually PRIME, Employment for the IT BPM Readiness Program. The great part of how Cebu will be able to achieve these goals is because of the community. This program was actually done by 3 BPO companies. Have you heard of competing companies actually coming together with one project? This is a project of Wipro, and we have our friends here from Wipro, Teleperformance, and Tech Mahindra. When we came together, we came together to create a curriculum for Cebu.o. We didn't name it as, Wipro or Teleperformance or Tech Mahindra. It's for CIVO, for Cebu.o. And TESDA recognized Cebu.o and made us the industry board So all those training programs for the IT BPM industry happening in Cebu is through Cebu.o. This one is for the English communication program. But this was before. Actually, still ongoing because the commitment of TESDA is for 700 graduates. We're done already with 250. We're actually evolving into 4 pillars. Contact center continues, of course. We have healthcare. There's a lot of healthcare operations happening here in Cebu. Banking and financial services, and I see we have some friends from Synchrony Financial. And technology, of course, right? So how are we ensuring that our talent is ready for this? While everybody is so, carried away with AI, right? We see that as like your level 5 or level 4 type of complexity in terms of skill. Let us not forget that level 1 still exists. Because when you graduate from college, you don't come out immediately tomorrow as a manager for the cybersecurity or for process excellence, right? You still need that level 1. So we're taking care of that. Even up to level 2. That's the aspiration of all the members of Cebu.o. And we have several of the Board of Trustees here, even with Lexmark, right? For the level 3, the more complex type of work, we actually need all the companies to help with that. Just like Tech Mahindra, we have diverse training programs to upskill, retool, and evolve our employees from doing level 1, level 2 type of customer service or technical support into more complex type of jobs, right? Next would be cost competitiveness. No? So we got this average for like from like a level 1 up to a manager and senior manager level in terms of the salary levels. But looking at North America compared to the Philippines, we're very much right there in terms of providing that cost effectiveness, but with the highest level of quality, because we've been doing this business for over 20 years already, right? And in terms of Cebu and Manila, comparing Cebu to Manila, Metro Cebu to Metro Manila, we're about 15% lower in terms of our overall rates, which actually puts Cebu at a really strategic spot as we speak to the global clients, even local clients. For infrastructure, our good friend Patrick Maitokayo, I hope I'm as handsome as Patrick, right? Definitely, telco is very critical. Telecommunications is very critical for our industry to survive and for our industry to achieve that goal for 2028. Real estate, again, we have our friends, our sponsors are here today. We need your help for that, right? We need world-class infrastructure, world-class office spaces. We also need transportation, right? As we all know, especially in the Visayas, where we have several small islands, right? If you check the history, the typhoons in the Philippines love to arrive during the weekends. So how do we actually help our folks who typically after the Friday, Saturday shift cross the islands? And I see some of the BPO companies nodding their heads, right? On Monday, these folks wants to come back to work, but they can't because the Coast Guard won't allow the boats the ferries, to move from one island to the next. How are we able to help with that, right? Well, I think we are now able to do that with work from home. We have now more options. I added cybersecurity as part of infrastructure, right? Because at the end of the day, no matter how great we are with our operations, just one fraud, just one breach can actually close down a center, can actually close down a contract, right? And I see the BPO and IT members in the room nodding their head. This is very critical for us. We're not just providing the best customer experience, but also risk management is very critical for the IT BPM industry. In terms of strong partnership, we're actually quite fortunate that our national and local government are really partnering with the IT BPM industry. Did you know that here in Cebu, they actually declared April 1 as the IT BPM Day? So I don't know if any other city in the Philippines is that much supportive, excited with the IT BPM industry, Cebu. And we've also seen this during the pandemic, right? During the lockdowns. If you wear an ID from the IT BPM industry, you can pass through all the checkpoints. You can go through all the, you can go to work. At the same time, our academe, right, is very critical. As I just mentioned earlier, one of the key differentiators of Cebu is that all these institutions are not only world-class, but they've been here for several decades already. Again, that's the reason why I started with talking about the discovery of the Philippines, because it puts Cebu at the center of the global arena, right? In terms of industry linkages, I'd like to talk about the Cebu IT BPM organization, CIB.O, right? We have several members here later on who's going to join us on stage. But the very unique composition, the structure, what's unique about CIB.O is that the Board of Trustees are both from the industry and from the academe. So going back to the challenge and the opportunity of the IT BPM industry, where you have talent, right, as the #1 critical item, for CIB.O, we are fortunate. Why? Because we already have the academe sitting on the board, not just members. They're sitting on the board. When you talk about skills, framework, development, enhancement, tweaking, right? And my TechM and Lexmark are part of the talent development team where I'm humbled to serve as the chairman for CIB.O for talent development. This is very critical. In fact, next week, Friday, we have the Transformation Summit of CIB.O. It's the key highlight for the year for CIB.O. Skilled workforce. So again, when it comes to AI, normally people will ask about, okay, so how is AI affecting all that, right? But if you ask me, and I've been in the industry for about 20 years, right? I think India and the Philippines have the partnership that both India and the Philippines did in the IT BPM industry. For them to partner instead of compete is really brilliant. I believe that because of that decades of partnership of India and the Philippines, even AI, right, while it will challenge us, we are actually the ones nourishing, we're the ones learning AI. And I believe that both India and the Philippines will champion AI. And again, put both countries at the center stage of the global IT BPM requirement. Here in Cebu, our skilled workforce for the IT BPM industry is about 220,000 already. Our goal is to add about 15 to 20% year on year, right? And I can see the rest of our, my partners here from the other IT BPM companies rallying towards adding about that 20% increase, right? Okay. Guys, I have a video to end my sharing of insights. But just to sort of before the video, can I invite everybody, to help me cheer for Cebu. We've been talking about Cebu as world class, Cebu as a center of excellence for the globe, right? So let's cheer for Cebu. All right, guys, can we do this together? So when I shout world class, everybody says Cebu. All right, and I'll say that the second time. I'll shout world class. I need everybody to shout Cebu. And then the third time, all of us will shout it at the same time, world class Cebu, and then roar. Right? Nag-toothbrush ba kayo? Roar. Okay. Practice, okay? I'll shout world class, we say Cebu. Second time, I shout world class, we say Cebu. Third time, together, world class Cebu. All right, let's do this. Are you guys ready? Before my video, let's do this, guys. World class! Cebu! World class! Cebu! World class! Cebu! Thanks, guys.
centuries, the Philippines has served as a key trading hub in the Southeast Asian region, attracting merchants and traders from all corners of the world. Renowned for its strategic location at the heart of the archipelago, Cebu has been a pivotal player in the country's economic landscape for centuries. Nestled amidst the azure waters of the Philippines, the diverse industries and markets and bustling ports of Cebu attract traders and businesses from near and far, making it a key player in the global economy. From its roots as a trade center, Cebu now connects the world digitally. Cebu is poised to spearhead the IT BPM industry through cost competitiveness, talent, infrastructure, strong linkages, and skilled workforce. Cebuanos are known for their work ethic, dedication, and collaborative spirit. Our workforce is adaptable, eager to learn, and possesses a strong desire to excel. With Tech Mahindra, a global leader as a potential partner, the future is bright.
Okay. So you see, Tech Mahindra uses that to sell Cebu to their global clients. So a good presentation and a good delivery. So we've had good luck with our two Patricks so far. Next we'll have Hazel Amoyan of PLDT. So she's got a bit of a, because she's going second after her friend Patrick, but still, we really have enjoyed over the years working closely with our PLDT organization, and we look forward to hearing from Hazel. Thanks, Hazel.
Maayong hapon, Richard, Rebecca, my fellow speakers, and to all the participants of the Asia CEO Cebu Forum. It is my honor to speak to you about PLDT's commitment to enhance the lives of Filipinos through innovations and meaningful connections. And just a bit of trivia, PLDT is already 96 years old. At PLDT, we are not just a telecommunications company, just like my friend. We are a company dedicated to inspiring innovation and building meaningful connections for generations to come. Our vision is clear. We envision a future where technology serves as a bridge that connects communities and sectors towards a prosperous yet sustainable future. Even before, PLDT lived up already to its vision. It provided opportunities for Filipino families to connect with its loved ones, not only during difficult times, but most especially during happy moments, where victories, good stories, and memorable events are shared and celebrated intimately through a simple telephone call. Let me take you back down to memory lane 24 years ago, when this ad was the byword then, and even became an iconic Filipino expression up to the present.
Kaya mo na. Huwag na Bert. Kaya mo na, Bert. Hello?
Hello, Dad.
Oh, Vic. Kamusta?
Bago, ma'am. Dad, may sabihin ako sa imo, importante.
May problema ka?
Dad, na-shift na ako sa fine arts.
Bakit?
Hindi ko kilig ka mag-doktor. Paano maintindihan mo? Dad?
Kung saan ka masaya, te, suportahan ta ka.
Buti na lang may maasahan.
Salamat kita, Dad.
Kamusta si PLDT.
Seems only yesterday when national direct dial or long distance was a big thing, right? May calling booth pa before. But today, wala na ning negosyo. Wala nang business with long distance dialing, no? And if PLDT did not innovate then, we would have been out of business. It started with a change in our vision. Our chairman, MVP, foresaw the need for change and adapt to the times to future-proof PLDT. Fast forward to present day, you can not only communicate online via apps, but you can also work, study, you buy stuff at the tip of your fingers. And PLDT is proud to be at the forefront of technology that enables us to do all things. And to realize its vision, PLDT invested over 400 billion pesos for its world-class fiber optic infrastructure in the last 5 years. With robust fiber optic backbone support, our smart wireless network gives you the most extensive reach and fastest speed serving the Philippine population. The company also invested heavily in digital and cloud infrastructure, partnering with world-renowned solution experts such as Palo Alto Networks for cybersecurity solutions, Microsoft and Google, to build continuously our ecosystem of partners and design multi-cloud solutions that are customized for our clients' digital transformation requirements in all stages of their journey. This will help our local businesses and local government units thrive in this hyper-connected world. With our capabilities, this would mean for both private and the government sectors support the aspiration of our President in prioritizing digital efforts to enhance public service and further boost efficiency and be more responsive to the needs of the Filipino people. Thus, we in PLDT can complement the President's dream of universal connectivity to ensure that no Filipino citizen is left behind. And relevant to that dream of universal connectivity, PLDT continues to collaborate with relevant government agencies such as DICT, DSWD, DTI, and the LGUs, such as the cities of Cebu, Ormoc, and Dumaguete, among others. The aim is to provide delivery of government services like in ease of doing business, public safety and security, and easy access to information through the power of connectivity to ensure there is economic growth and citizens' welfare. All of this are aimed in helping them realize their goal of becoming a smarter city. We also invite experts during events on specific area and topics that may help the SMEs. For example, we have Maya for digital payment. We also educate internet safety and security. We have TikTok for e-commerce or online selling, and many more. We usually partner with DTI or other organizations that can bring in SME and other experts to share insights and do coaching for SMEs. Our commitment goes beyond just by providing services. We are actively involved in various initiatives that support education, entrepreneurship, and community development in the Visayas. By investing in local talent and infrastructure, we create opportunities that empower Filipinos to thrive in the digital age. Almost everything now is at the tip of your fingers. You can work, shop, pay or transact, collaborate and connect with anyone in the world, no matter the distance and time difference. Emerging technologies have the potential to reshape our lives in significant ways. All we need is to tap and maximize the use of these technologies, such as AI and IoT, to further boost productivity and efficiency. Lately, if you happen to have been contacted somebody from PLDT regarding payment reminders, for instance, there's a good chance that you have been talking to an AI-powered virtual assistant. Please watch this video.
Your Intelligent Virtual Collections Assistant from PLDT. Before we proceed, advise lang po namin kayo that this call is being recorded for quality assurance purposes.
Sino ulit to?
Si Cindy po ito calling on behalf of PLDT. Remind ko lang po kayo na nag-due na yung balance nyo last September 30. Kaya po bang bayaran before October 15 to avoid disconnection?
Pwede magbayad online?
Pwede po kayong magbayad through Maya, Giga Live app, Bayad Centers, and GCash.
Okay, salamat sa tawag.
You're welcome po.
Wait lang, robot ba talaga tong kausap ko?
That's exactly the reaction you get from our customers, and I take it as a compliment. Our conversational bots can actually listen, respond, and speak like a local.
Nakapagbayad na ako online. Hindi pa nag-reflect sa system namin. Kailan po kayo nagbayad online? Kahapon. Okay po. Pwede niyo rin po i-check yung schedule of posting sa plddhome.com/payment center. Thank you po. Ingat.
But what's more impressive is that AI is so efficient that both our productivity and collections have increased substantially since we rolled out the service. ICT projects of this scale usually take a long time to execute. I mean, depending on what it is, it could take years. But because we partnered with EPLDT, with their ICT expertise and existing telephony system, we were good to go in just 6 months. We chose the right partner in EPLDT. They are super enablers. They are on the Microsoft Azure platform. They have the exact ICT solution we needed. They took care of everything. They own and manage the project and ensured seamless coordination with our Singapore-based partner, Wiz AI. Filipinos in general like to be reminded about payment deadlines. We have 4.5 million PLDT and Smart postpaid customers. AI is the perfect solution to streamlining collection reminders. Now that the system is up and running, EPLDT, through its project managers, continue to look closely at the analytics, ready to react and shift gears in terms of strategy if needed. I am often asked, are bots taking over human jobs? My answer is, technology is here and we must embrace it. We should use it to evolve and upgrade our skill set. I also believe that AI will always need human intervention.
AI is no longer science fiction. It is our reality. Our talk bots can negotiate with customers, resulting in enhanced efficiencies. This is just one of many AI applications we are developing to help businesses be more efficient and customer-centric. As industries accelerate the shift to a more digital future, elevate your tech with us. Let's make it work for you.
This year, PLDT turns 96 years old. Yes, we are old. We have been through wars, natural calamities, political upheavals, pandemic, and digital disruption. Even with those challenging years, we continue to thrive and provided the Filipino people with that 96 years of meaningful connections. As our valued customers, stakeholders, and our North Star, with PLDT, you all have the distinct advantage of the latest advanced technology, reliable expertise, and access to partnerships that we have solidly built over that 96 years. And for this, we are forever grateful. And as we look ahead, PLDT remains steadfast in our commitment to making Visayas a better place for all. Through effective collaboration and engagement with relevant partners such as this, we will continue to innovate and harness the power of technology towards a more prosperous and sustainable future for Visayas and the Philippines. Thank you very much for always having us, Richard and Rebecca, and it is indeed a privilege for me to be here. And let me close my presentation with this video. Just a reminder of our commitment that you, our customers, are always at the heart of everything we do.
Okay, let's discuss next week. Looking forward to your engineering review assignment.
Okay, I'll submit it next week. Bye. Hi, Dad.
Kamusta ang engineer namin?
Dad, I have something important to tell you.
Is there a problem?
Hindi na ako mag-take ng board exam.
Bakit?
Happy na ako sa IT job ko. And the board exams just don't feel right for me anymore.
Ton, having the license might open doors for you. And you have nothing to lose and everything to gain if you take the board exam.
Dad? Kung saan ka masaya, ate, suportahan ta ka.
Ate,
Dad?
kung saan ka masaya, lagi mong tandaan, palangga ka.
Love you, Dad.
Palangga mo sa PLDT, kung saan ka masaya, ang PLDT kanunay nagsuporta. Again, thank you very much.
Well done, Hazel. Let's get going with, kind of our feature presenter here, Jericho Go. I'll just tell you a little bit of a story some of you might not know. Jerry, for years, worked with another organization, dare I say, Megaworld, and was the face of the organization. And when they got going, community development. So Jerry and Andrew Tan really highlighted and really focused on this, and it made such an impact on the country, facilitated, I would say, hundreds of thousands of jobs across the country, the things that they did. And just as a coincidence, last year, some of you know we do this annual awards event called Asia CEO Awards, and Andrew Tan was awarded Lifetime Contributor, and a big part of it was this community development concept that him and Jerry worked out a lot of difficulties, but they did so much with it. So Jerry, his stature in the industry went just zoomed up because of the contributions that they made there. So then when he moved over to Robinson's Land, everybody said, well, one, how can they afford them? But two, I guess what Robinson's plan was is to kind of emulate what his previous employer did. But really what they've done is took it to a whole other level above what Megaworld has done. Don't tell Andy I said this, don't ever say it, but it is amazing what they have done. And when Jerry came in, it was in 1999, just a short time before COVID hit, and many developers, I won't mention names, but they pulled back, stopped developments, laid off people, and so forth. And who could blame them? But Robinson's Land kept on going, and I'm not saying they lost money, but I'm saying, it showed a hell of a commitment to keep going through and develop facilities like this, world class, like beyond, a step above. I come from Toronto, and it would be hard to find facilities like this in other major countries. And what they're doing in Metro Manila, Bridgetown, and the other developments. So let's get an update on what this group is doing as a real premier and leveling up and all that overused words, but they're really putting it into fashion. And it makes all the difference. I'm talking too much, please forgive me, but it makes such a big difference when you can bring people from any country in the world and walk into a facility, and they might be nervous and, oh my God, it's a third world country. And then when you walk in here, they know they're in a first world facility and they're going to be, comfortable and safe and all of these kinds of things. So it makes such an impact on bringing locators to the country and really making Filipinos to the next level. I know Dagny of Concentrics, they want to bring their people here to this facility and give them a room as a reward for the great work they're doing, and the impact on young Filipinos coming here and staying in this beautiful facility. So, sorry, I don't know why I'm a little emotional, but just to see the impact. Okay, so let's have Jerry come up. He'll do a bit of he's another good sales guy, so he'll do a good presentation for us, and he's going to try to wow us. Let's see how, I'm sure he will. Thank you, Jerry.
Mayong adlaw sa inyo tanan. So I just wanted to say that first up front, thank you for having us here. Indeed, a very opportune event, no, for us to talk about this vision and mission that we have at Robinsons. First, allow us to share, no, that we are part of the Gokongwei Group, Gokongwei Company, group of companies, and we have these core values. No? As you can see, we have entrepreneurial mindset, integrity, and stewardship. So for Robinsons offices, we also have our core objectives, no, which are aligned to these core values, as shown here. So first, on the entrepreneurial mindset side, we basically said, go back one slide, please. So job generation, we'll talk about that, keeping families together, and sustainability. First, in terms of job generation, we would like to emphasize, no, that one of the core objectives why we are driven very much to be able to pursue what we're doing is that it creates jobs. It helps improve people's lives. And again, this is Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. Of course, all of you probably know that the Gokongwei family started from Cebu. This is the root of our development, and that's why Cebu is very close to our hearts, especially our former chairman who already passed away, Mr. John Gokongwei. So Cebu has a very special place in the heart of the Gokongweis. You can see here some numbers, total in terms of square meters of Robinsons offices. But I think the most relevant figure here is that when you put together the direct jobs that are created and also the indirect jobs, just our company alone, we're able to facilitate job generation of roughly about 1.2 to 1.5 million jobs in the entire country. So where do these jobs come from? I think it's very clear that when you have offices being developed, and that's exactly the group that I belong to, it has a multiplier effect. No? So people that are reporting for work, they avail of transportation, they avail of food and clothing and services from the hospitality sector and healthcare. So all of those things I think are very important in order for us to create those much needed jobs in our country. It doesn't end there. Now, how do we do our share in ensuring that this continues on? Earlier, Patrick mentioned something about work from home and things like that, but hopefully, with what we are doing, we would be able to provide reason for people to want to return to the workspaces or to the offices. So the workstation of the better new generation workspaces. So this is our head office. This is in Manila. Cyberscape Alpha is the building. So this is a newly renovated space. It was done during the pandemic in 2019. And then we were basically occupied it in 2021. So as you can see here, a lot of innovations. We have phone booth type facilities where if you need to do video calls, you can just isolate yourself in one area. You don't have to consume an entire space to be able to make that video call if there's only one person in one room. And then we also have like meeting pods that basically make it very interesting for people to want to congregate. So it's more informal, but at the same time gives you some privacy. And our offices are also designed in such a way that it's very interesting. You have green rooms, you have a skyline of famous locations all over the Philippines. So I think this is something that will invite more interest to be able to go back to the workspaces. Also, we mentioned that we've seen a lot of the Gen Zs and the millennials. They're very much interested in having, going probably to Starbucks. So we said, rather than go to Starbucks, we will bring Starbucks to your office. So we created this bar, or the breakout area, as we refer to it. We also provided it with a coffee maker, coffee machine, drip coffee, and of course, Great Taste Coffee, which is a product of ours also, instant 3-in-1. So, but I think the key here is that you want to be able to create an environment where there's a home away from home. So you will notice in this space, and again, when you get a chance to visit us in Metro Manila, or in Ortigas in particular, we do want to extend our invitation for you to come and visit us in our office at Robinson's Cyberscape Alpha. We're at the 25th floor, and what is interesting here is that we have a tile in the ceiling that serves as an invisible partition. It separates, on the right side, gray carpet, acoustic board ceilings, workstations, which is our office. And on the left side, we have a living room setup, we have a veranda setup, and several others. So it's like 1, 2, or 3 steps away, you are already at the sort of like confines of your home. Next slide. At first, I asked our designer, to make it very interesting. Can you help create a playground for us in the office? I asked for a slide, swing, seesaw, monkey bars, and unfortunately, I didn't get most of those things. The slide probably was a workplace hazard, but of course, that's part of the negotiation. So instead, they gave me a foosball table, they gave me a air hockey table, billiards, ping pong table, and the like. But this is just the hardware. What is more important than the hardware is the software. So every third quarter of the year, we have a tournament. We divided the team into 4 groups, and then we have this GM's Cup, a competition. So you win trophy, and you have a cash prize, bragging rights. So what they do with the prize is that they use it to bond with each other. So something that makes it very interesting to be able to return to the workplace. The idea here is, if you can play, then you can work. So we give them reasons to come back to the office so that they'll be able to work. But it doesn't end there. There are benefits to coming back to work. And these are just some of the benefits. I remember in one of the executive sessions that we've had, one of our key executives, Ms. Robina Gokongwei, I heard her staff saying, how I'd wish I would see Ms. Robina when we're doing our XCOM presentation. Because sometimes she might say yes, but her body language might be different. So that's why I think it's important that when you have this communication, then it's easier to be able to get across what you exactly want to have from your colleagues or from your subordinates. Next slide. So corporate culture. A lot of times we talk about why is it that Robinsons in particular is better than developer A, developer B, developer C. It's the corporate culture, and it's the same for BPO companies. You are being selected because of what you offer, the value that you offer, the culture, the service, the excellence that you offer. Next slide. We are also very particular about sustainability. Our buildings have been certified as green buildings, whether it's LEED certified or EDGE certified. In the workplace, I think what we don't realize is that nothing against working from home. We're just saying that there might be certain advantages when you go back to the office. For instance, at home, I don't think we have urinals. At home, our air conditioning system, window type, might not be that energy efficient. And when it breaks down, who's going to pay for your air conditioning? And instead of operating your air conditioning for 8 hours at a single day, you might have to extend it 16 hours, 17 hours or so. So the breakdown and the repairs might be very significant for us working from home. So coming back to the office, more energy efficient, and then you ensure that there are higher productivity levels. Earlier, Patrick mentioned about data privacy. So again, we're saying that giving you this world-class development all over the Philippines. In Cebu, we have several developments and also several provinces in the Philippines. We are able to provide really world-class, Class A office buildings, no, to be able to increase productivity and reduce cost. One last point I'd like to mention with regard to returning to the workplace. We all understand that it is difficult, no, to put up with traffic going to work, to put on clothes. It's an additional expense. Transportation, clothing, food, everything is additional cost. But remember, 99.6% of companies in the Philippines are micro, small, and medium enterprises. And these are the guys that got affected the most. Next slide. Retail trade, repair of motorcycles and vehicles, hospitality, food, healthcare, affected the most. So the next time that you brave traffic, you put on your clothes, and you make that effort to go to the office, remember that you are giving these people on the screen much needed jobs to feed their families. So in a way, we are doing our share in nation building. So again, being selfless, thinking about our fellow Filipinos can hopefully get us across those challenging times. And it did. And now we're creating those jobs, and we're seeing those jobs being generated through the sacrifices of each and every Filipino. And that is doing a lot of good for our economy. We have a video that we will show, and we want you to watch this.
Behind a restless search for greater meaning and answers to our deepest questioning, beneath relentless faith, boundless hope, surrendering love. Behind our trust that all things will be better, that peace will reign and mercy will prevail. Deep in our hearts, in our souls, in all we are, dwells God, eternal God, self-giving God, all-powerful love. More than we ever know or may believe, the truth remains that deep within us dwells God. Behind a deep regret for all our failings and hunger for the pardon of our sins, beneath our guilt and shame, desire to rise from them again. Behind our courage to forgive each other and willingness to heal each other's pain, deep in our hearts, in our souls, in all we are, dwells God, eternal God, self-giving God, all-powerful love. More than we ever know or may believe, the truth deep within us dwells eternal God, self-giving God, all-powerful Lord, more than we ever know or may believe, the truth remains that deep within us dwells God, dwells God, dwells God.
Tissue, anyone? We are passionate about the work that we do because 7 out of 10 OFWs are women. And somewhere out there in our country, a child is growing up, roughly about 1 million children growing up without a mother or father. So we basically talked about it in our group, and we said, when we work hard, we build offices, Metro Manila, in the provinces, in Cebu, Bacolod, Iloilo, Davao, Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. Hopefully one day will come, hopefully in our lifetime, when no mother, father, brother, or sister will ever be separated from families again. So if we can do that, I think we are doing our part in keeping families together. And this is also related to the value of integrity. Where do we learn to have integrity? We learn it from our families. So when the family is together, when we're teaching our children the right values, then not only are we creating a better Philippines, but we are creating a moral Philippines that will help spur growth and the right kind of development that will help in nation building. So another thing that I would like to share here is that I asked our President and CEO, former President and CEO, now Secretary for Investment and Economic Affairs, Secretary Frederick Dico. So the next slide shows a picture of a mall. So I asked him, Boss, why are you so passionate about developing malls, particularly in the provinces, no? Like in Cebu and in other far-flung areas? Help me understand, because I'm passionate about office because we help keep families together. And then I was really dumbfounded and I was really in awe with his response. He said, Jericho, have you ever been to a province that's somewhat been neglected by progress, by development, by attention from each and everyone, every sector? We put up a mall in this particular area, and then the children, for the first time, seeing an escalator, riding up and down, almost the entire day. And families being able to watch a movie together for the first time, not having to wait 6 months, not having to wait for those movies to come into their province, into their area. You see what kind of joy, what kind of development we've brought into their lives. They are no longer neglected, but they have been valued. No? So this is the kind of purpose that we advocate in our organization. And obviously, in this conference, no, we know that when our heart is in its right place, that we will be able to achieve very great things together. The third part is about sustainability. So this is the last part, stewardship. Because we always say, what's the point of all of this progress when we cannot hand it down to future generations? Okay. So 16 of our buildings right now are certified as LEED or EDGE buildings. And our commitment in the next couple of years is to obtain 95% at least, no, by 2026, 95% of all of our office buildings will be green certified. By 2030, we will be carbon neutral, and by 2050, net zero. Now, we've also done things like we've gone with EDGE, and we became the very first real estate investment trust that was became an EDGE champion, no? And this was given in Singapore. The good news here, I wouldn't say bad news, but the good news here is being EDGE champion. Two of the major developers also, one of them is Philinvest and the other one is Ayala, they followed suit and they started to green certify, EDGE certify some of their buildings. Now, some would say, Jericho, that was very foolish on your part. You open your doors to opportunities to other developers to, pun intended, to edge you out on the green certification. And then we said, not at all. Because if everyone will go green certification, the ultimate winner is the environment and the future generations. We have one of the biggest solar farm installations in our malls. And the other interesting project that we're doing is hydroponics. When you visit our office, you get a chance to visit our office, not only will you see our workspaces, but on top of our building, we have a hydroponics farm. This is post-organic. There is no soil, no pesticide. When you buy farm produce, particularly vegetable, tomatoes, romaine, lettuce, and the like, 1 or 3 days, it's already withered away. This one will last more than 3 weeks, kept in the refrigerator. And you know what? Part of our health and well-being program is we worked with our partner so that we can provide a vegetable at a huge discount. No? So, but just some of the benefits that you can see with Sky Farms, as we refer to them. First, obviously, plants, they convert carbon dioxide into oxygen. And the idea in developing them in rooftops is so that within a 5-kilometer radius, you'd be able to deliver fresh the produce. And that's going to be served in restaurants and eaten by customers very fresh, as if it was picked up, well, literally picked up that very day. And on the social aspect, again, we've mentioned that we basically want healthy living, healthy eating, and you can see there. And more importantly, there are opportunities to do good works. It's food after all, so why don't we solve the issues on hunger? You know, the problem right now is that a lot of farmers and their families, they don't find it interesting. It's not sexy anymore to do farming. So we have issues on food security. But hopefully with hydroponics, even the kids, they're no longer farmers, they're called farm scientists. So now they become very interested to be part of this revolution. And then hopefully through this initiative, we are able to ensure food security as well. We are cognizant of the fact that 80% of the workforce in our particular office are now Gen Zs and millennials. There's a stereotype. We have to be careful about the stereotype. We always say that millennials so hard to deal with, Gen Z so difficult, you know, they have so much expectation. And if you don't meet those expectations, then they'll just leave. So I think that's a wrong stereotype. Next video. So before I get into the last 2 slides, allow me some more time for us to be able to show you this video so that you can also understand the current mindset of particularly management executives and our colleagues at Robinson's Land Corporation and Robinson's offices. Please watch.
Vanes? زیر دارم کدوم؟ Shkondant. Edhe mos e përcërit më, qetësi. Trap Mevones. Špatná.
Let's not be quick to judge. We don't know what people around us are feeling or are going through. So we understand that about our colleagues. So millennials, Gen Zs, they just want a higher purpose. They just want to understand what they're doing for the company, the organization. Oftentimes, just do this worksheet, finish this report, give me the minutes, and stop asking questions. It doesn't work that way. We need, if we want them to be part of our mission, our vision, our goals, I think it's just but right that we share with them what the higher purpose is of the organization. And just watch out, they just might surprise you. So for us, I think it's very important that we follow the core values, and more importantly, always practice kindness. At every single time, there's always this opportunity that we might be able to transform people's lives through the kind gestures, even the smallest ones. It matters. So, the nickname of our former president and CEO is actually DEC. So, this is just about my last slide here. And without dedication, you will never start. Without excellence, you will never flourish. Without consistency, you will never finish. And without kindness, nothing that we ever do will ever matter. Ad maiorem Dei gloriam, and thank you very much. But before that, I promised to remember, I was supposed to give something, and let me just find out, Richard, if you just 1 second. Oh, here it is. Okay, have a good day, everyone.
Okay, so we're going to have a big panel session so everyone can see, talking about mission and vision. We'll get some of the organizations who have this in spades. So let's ask up from our audience, Buddy Villasis, the Executive Director of the Cebu IT BPM organization. Yes, a hand for Buddy, doing fantastic work. Dagny of the Concentrics organization. I better put on my glasses. And Dagny, I can't read your last name. Astacio. Thank you very much. We're going to hear a fantastic story from Dagny. Faye Kadongog of WePro. I spoke to Asim Roy, the country head last week, and he assured me that Faye, Richard, she is the one to present for us in Cebu, so we're glad to have her. Jay Uvalos, the recently elected, very new president of the Cebu Chamber of Commerce and Industry. So we're pleased to have Jay, who we're looking forward to hear from more, Jay, but really nice to have you. Next is Ime Vila of Innodata Knowledge Systems, the country head, also with her very energetic group. And here's another organization great at creating human capital. So, next is Stefan Billy, here just arrived, well not just arrived, a year and a half or so ago from France, to head the operations of Lexmark R&D here, another prominent organization. And also, if we could ask our previous presenters, if we could have Jerry back up. Do we have room? Oh, yeah, come on. Jerry, we'll squeeze in. We're all good friends here. As well as Patrick Gloria of Globe, Patrick Salazar of Tech Mahindra, and Hazel Lamoyan, of course, of PLDT. So we've got a great group. This is a great group. So let's have some. So first of all, just start off with our new people to the stage, and I'll just ask them just to give a brief background of themselves and their organization. So first, let's go with Buddy here. Yeah, okay, good, Buddy. Yeah.
Thank you, Richard. Hi, good afternoon, everyone. For those of you who do not know me, I think almost half of the room are from Cebu. I'm Buddy Villasis. I'm the Executive Director of the Cebu IT BPM organization. We are the industry association of the IT BPM companies, mostly in IT Park, Cebu Business Park, and much of the IT parks in Cebu. Thank you, Richard.
Very good. And also, Buddy's been very active in the Cebu Chamber of Commerce and a real mover and shaker throughout the Cebu region, I understand.
Well, CIB.O is a member of the chamber. It's good to have Jay here, who is the president. I used to sit as the executive director sometime in 2010, so it shows my age that I'm too old already. So you don't see much hair in my head. But of course, CIB.O is part of the bigger organization, which is the Chamber of Commerce, and we work closely with the Chamber in promoting investments in Cebu, as well as promoting great things, no, for the betterment of Cebu and its people.
Absolutely. You hear a lot of noise from this organization, so really good work that they're doing. Next, the talented Dagny Astacio of Concentrics. Please tell us all you can.
Hello guys, good afternoon. Not sure why I'm talented, but so my name is Dagny Astacio. I'm the Senior Director for Client Success for Concentrics. As most of you may know, Concentrics is the largest private employer we have in the region, and I'm currently the Cebu City Leader, so I'm the primary point of contact for all of the Concentric sites here in Cebu. It's my first time attending this forum. Happy to be here, and thank you for having me.
Very good. And Dagny, how many employees does Concentrics have in the region, say, and in the country?
In the country, we are now 107,000, and in Cebu, about 13,000, just Cebu alone.
Wow, right? Unbelievable. Next, we have Faye Kadongog of WePro.
Yes.
Kadungog.
Kadungog, okay.
Yes, good afternoon, everybody. Again, my name is Faye. I lead the talent acquisition team of WePro Philippines. For those of you who don't know what WePro is, we are a purpose-driven, employee-centric global technology services and consulting firm. We have about 250,000 employees across 66 countries. In the Philippines, we started our operations way back 2008 with just 75 employees, and now we've grown to 10,000 employees with 80% of our workforce being based in Cebu. So I am responsible in finding the right talent to our 50-plus customers in the location. And I also happen to lead the CSR charter of WePro Philippines, which we call WePro Cares. As some of you may be aware, 66% of our economic interest is unrevocably pledged to doing philanthropic projects. So over the years, we've been actively involved in projects that are focused on youth inclusion, ecology, and disaster relief. So really, we are a catalyst. We volunteer, we give, and we make sure that we empower the communities that we're in. Thank you. Nice to be here.
Very good. And understand your boss, Asim Roy, he makes a lot of noise about Cebu and also involved with, is that?
Yes, Asim is the president of CIBO. He also is a board member of the ITBPM organization. So, yeah, he is very noisy, literally.
That's okay. Very good. And we're so pleased to have Jay Uvalos, the new president of the Cebu Chamber of Commerce, big in furniture industries and other. Please, if you can tell us some more, Jay.
Yeah, okay. I'm Jay. Thank you for having me here, Richard. I think there's already a something there in the program, but let me just talk a little bit about the chamber. If you're a Cebuano, maybe you've already heard about the chamber. We are approaching the 1,000 mark in terms of membership. We are one of the bigger chambers outside of the Philippine Chamber. The only chamber in the Philippines that is ISO certified. We are 121-year-old organization, so we're kind of old. I am one of the volunteers in the chamber movement and happen to serve as its president now. Hopefully later I can talk a little bit more about the agenda of the chamber.
Very good. Okay. And then we have Aimee Villa of the very successful InnoData Knowledge Services Company.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Imay Villa from InnoData. I'm the country head for Philippines. We have operations in Cebu, Legazpi, and as well as in Manila. InnoData is one of the pioneers in Cebu. BPO wasn't popular at that time in 1980s. Now InnoData is a global data engineering company. We specializes in AI end-to-end services that includes data collection, data annotation, and things like that. Yeah, I'm also the director for our corporate social responsibility globally. And here in Cebu, we have 7 partners already in our corporate social responsibility, and our focus is actually in education.
Very good. And Aimee, when did your company first start doing business in Cebu?
If I remember, it was around 1984.
Wow, so many, many years
Yes,
in the city.
30-year legacy.
Very good. Okay. And next is Stefan Billy of Lexmark. Please.
All right, so Mayong Hapon. I arrived in Cebu a year and a half ago, so I'm quite new in the city, but I've known Cebu for quite some time. My first time in Cebu was probably, I think in 2004. That was my first trip with Cebu, already with Lexmark. So I am the president and CEO of Lexmark here in the Philippines. The love story between Lexmark and the Philippines started actually in 2001 when we started a manufacturing plant in Mactan. Since then, I mean, we have only impressed by the workforce here in Cebu, and we are very happy to develop our workforce and talented workforce here in the Philippines. About 20 to 25% of Lexmark employees around the world are located here in the Philippines. So it says in Cebu. So it says it tells a lot about how strategic this country is for Lexmark, and we continue to invest here because we find a lot of great talents, and we believe that the successes that we have here in Cebu eventually becomes the successes of Lexmark globally. So you can count on us to keep supporting Cebu and this beautiful country.
Very good. Human capital development. Everybody talks about this. We have key people there. How's everybody doing? I don't know. Who could talk about it? Is there going to be enough people to, everyone has expansion plans and so forth. Is that working out, or what are the challenges and opportunities, you would say, in the Cebu-Visayas region? Who'd like to talk about that? I think you've talked about a little bit about it.
Yeah, so there are a lot of opportunities outside, especially in this AI space. One of our initiatives right now, what we're doing right now is really building a talent pool. We have a very good talent in Cebu, but right now we're working towards partnering with the academe, of course, with the support of CIBO, and we're trying to help them in terms of aligning the academe and the industry, and we are actually opening more on the immersion programs so that students can really feel what's really in there in the corporate setting, and that's part of our corporate social responsibility. That's why we're focusing on education. So later last year and this year, we are really investing more on the training programs, building talent pool, upskilling, reskilling, and retooling, for us to really thrive and support the new opportunities coming in, especially in this age of AI.
Please, Faye.
I think talent availability and talent pool has always been a hot topic in forums like this, right? The concern is always, will we have enough talent or people in the pipeline to support our business? And I know that there is an ongoing initiative with the help of CIBO and in the national level, CCAP, ITBPM, and WePro is very much involved in that. And to echo what Ms. Gemma was saying earlier, we do have the talent in Cebu. In fact, we get about 35,000 to 40,000 graduates year on year. But I think as experts, it's up to us on how we will upskill those talents to meet our needs. And I was, talking about how I lead the CSR arm of WePro. Part of our project is what we call community learning program, where we would offer free trainings to young individuals in the excluded communities to enable them or to equip them to be job ready when they are ready for the corporate world. So we've partnered with Life Project for Youth, or LP4Y. We have partnered with SOS Children's Villages. We have funded so far 4 IT digital hub is what we call it, where we give them grant money and they build an IT hub for the local communities in Cebu City, and we offer them free trainings. To date, we have started with this initiative way back late 2022. To date, we were able to train more than 200 people already, and we were able to employ close to 100 out of that 200. So the pass rate or the high rate is high, but we still have a lot to improve on. And the topics can be very flexible. We have our very capable training team to assess on the skill set that these people would really need, whether it'll be communication skills, soft skills, customer service skills, just about anything, we can customize it specific to the pool that we have. So we can work collectively as, as an industry body, or we can do something individually in our own organization to help bridge the talent gap. But yes, I agree, we do have a good talent pool here in Cebu.
Good. Anybody else talk about that? No? Oh, okay, Stefan.
Maybe a few words, but so yes, I agree that yes, we have a great talent pool here in Cebu. But one of the speakers earlier on was saying that technology obviously is impacting a lot the workplace, and I think we have a responsibility as employers to make sure that not only we reach out to universities and senior high schools around there to help them grow their talents, but also have responsibilities with our own employees. When some of our employees join our companies, Lexmark, technology was not as advanced as it is now, so we have a responsibility to make sure that they become or they stay competitive, not only internally within the company, but also externally. Sometimes I'm hearing that Lexmark is one of the best universities in Cebu because companies are stealing talents away from us. So sometimes it's painful, but I see that still as a duty, or as a responsibility as an employer to make sure that we keep our talents at the right level of skills. It helps us, and it helps them, eventually if they move to another company, then to bat for us, and great for them. But it's important that we keep them at the right level of skill so that they can stay competitive. So that's important.
Good, okay. Oh, please.
Well, I decided to respond to that. The vision of the chamber is to have a globally competitive Cebu. Business, organizations, and its people. That is really, we're driven by that vision and mission. How advocacies and linkages and the programs that we deliver. So we decided to have this term, we decided to have a leadership agenda that is reflective of our vision. And it's LEAD. Lead. Okay. So one of the things, since that is a very specific question, let me just pick up one of those letters. Letter A, active partnerships. So the new mindset of the chamber is to really activate partnerships, because we cannot do everything. And talking about nation building, we have the assets. Our demographic sweet spot in terms of median age is 23.4. Very close to Vietnam, for example. But if you look at the workforce of Vietnam, they are driven towards the needs of the industry. Say, for example, the manufacturing sector. Very well utilized, very well trained. The workforce is the pipeline going into their manufacturing space is there. So much so, it reflects on the foreign direct investments into Vietnam and the factories that are sprouting all over the place. Maybe in so many years, they will take over the manufacturing exports from China. So these are the kind of challenges that we are facing. And can only happen if, like, these esteemed people here in this group aligns together. So, say, for example, we're starting to talk with the University of San Jose Recoletos. They called on us in the chamber. We had a meeting. What can we advise them in terms of this gap, the industry-academe gap? So things like this can only happen with, the things that we're doing collectively. But more importantly, it's really all about alignment, the collective vision that we have. How do we position Cebu, for example? Or in the bigger picture, how do we position the Philippines in terms of the kind of industries we wanted to promote? We cannot be, jack of all trades. But for Cebu, it's very clear. We have, of course, the IT, BPO, BPM, KPO space. We're now trying to introduce the creative entertainment industry. We made an inventory, and lo and behold, we were surprised that we have animators here who are already subcontracting from Japan, the Japanese companies. So we want to nurture this industry, and so on and so forth. We're big in terms of food training and food certification standards at the chamber. So these are just examples that we have to drive our people, this asset, towards deployment into the industry.
Absolutely. And just along with that, industries like furniture and interior design elements. We have Carlos Cordoba here, who designed some of the please, he's going to stand up. I know it. Here you go. The design elements and really world-class furniture systems and so forth. That also Jay knows a lot about.
He's a trustee of the chamber also.
He is, exactly.
And
yes.
we were together in the Cebu Furniture Industries Foundation.
Yes, of course.
Many moons ago.
Okay, very good. So, and also, we've got a lot of questions from the audience. I forgot to ask Cami De Jesus back on the stage. Is she still here? If she is, if she could.
She's in the executive committee.
Oh, she is. Okay, all right. Thanks, Jericho. So please, a question right here. Please state your name, and we'll be glad to hear from you.
All right. So my name is Ford from Innodata. You want me to stand? Okay.
Please.
So the question is for Hazel. Good afternoon. Given your significant presence and influence in Cebu, how does your company promote corporate governance and sustainable business practices among its clients? And also, can you provide examples of initiatives or programs that emphasize ethical standards, transparency, environmental responsibility, and long-term sustainability? Thank you.
Thank you for the question. For PLDT and SMART, we strictly follow because we are governed by our corporate governance in the company. So with that, we are always transparent with our clients in terms of our dealings. Even our salespeople, they're being measured also in terms of our contracts with our client. Transparency is the key. That is my answer. So in terms of sustainability, we are also preparing to be sustainable. We have programs by our sustainability group, and we are also compliant to that.
That's a big question. Anybody else want to answer? No? Okay. Please, the next question.
Okay. Good afternoon. I'm Charmaine, and this question goes to Mr. Patrick Salazar. Sir, can you provide more details on how your company accelerates transformation for enterprises across various industries? And how integral is your role in advising clients on maximizing the use of technology to foster innovation and sustainable growth in their business?
Thank you for the question. Okay, so Tech Mahindra is a core values-driven organization. All right, our 5 core values are customer first, focus on quality, corporate citizenship, professionalism, and respect for individual dignity. As part of our strategic business imperatives, we have 3. First one is about being the center of performance excellence. Next is being the partner of choice, and also being the work environment of choice. Based on that, in terms of transformation, we partner with our clients first with alignment of both our mission statements. All right, our core values need to align. That's also how we actually select our clients. We don't just select clients, right, for the sake of sales. We make sure that our core purpose, the strategy, is actually aligned. Basis that, we advise them how to be number 1 in their industry and how to increase the benchmark in their respective industries. I'll share some examples. One of our, again, Tech Mahindra is a big service provider for the telecoms industry worldwide. Okay, one of our telco clients in the Asian region, all right, we used to have about 3,500 employees, supporting them. All right. About 1,000 of those folks were actually reduced because of the automation and transformation we've done for them. We partnered with their transformation team, with their automation team, in automating several parts of the processes. Right. Those that we believe that that can be automated easily to support customer experience for their respective industries. And people may ask, hey Patrick, it's about 1,000 people, right? I mean, you're losing sales, but no. For us, what's important is how are we actually contributing not only to the client or to our stockholders, but to the industry, to their customers, all right? What did we do to the 1,000 people, right? We have training programs that are actually upskilling them. So these are actually supporting daytime or Philippine daytime telco client. All right. What we did is that we have programs that actually train them for English communication skills and specific industry skills, so we can transfer them to our Australia and North American clients. About 75% of them are actually supporting those clients already. Some of them are already supervisors, managers, and also in quality roles. So again, it's not just transforming for our clients, but also for us. Thank you.
That is a very good question. If I can just, a transformation, because everybody here has been involved with that. But I don't know, I put Jericho Go up on a bit of a pedestal today, and I hope but I do believe in this. But Robinson's Land went through a tremendous transformation while you came in. I know it's a big question and you can't take all data, but how do you go about this? Because there's some people who can measure up and go work, but there's others that maybe can't. And how do you, Jerry? Can you talk about?
So Richard, first of all, it's not me. It's the organization. I think the organization is set up no less by Mr. Lance Gokongwei and Secretary Frederick Go at that time, and corporate governance, integrity, and of course the systems and the processes. And they believe sincerely in terms of transformation. Meaning, if you do not adapt, if you do not change with the times, then you're bound to become obsolete. So for us, we are not threatened with artificial intelligence or generative AI. We fully embraced it. We fully embraced it, and we used generative AI to be able to free ourselves from the mundane task, report writing, all of those basic things, generation of Excel worksheets, calculations. Those are the things that probably most of us don't want to do anyway. So now we are focused on customer centricity. What exactly do you want? How do you want it? When do you want it delivered? It always has to have a certain milestone, data, and time bound. No? So I think with that kind of organization or the mindset or the setup, I think we are bound to really excel. And we are very purpose-driven, and at the same time, we are very deliberate in terms of premiumization. So we know that particularly our BPO companies, corporates, number one, when we service Fortune 500 MNCs, they are now demanding green certified buildings because of the climate accord. So if you do not transform, if you do not produce that product, chances are we will not be able to attract those investments into the Philippines. It's only a matter of time when they're going to tell us, if your building is not green certified, we cannot go to your building. And of course, the amenities and the facilities go hand in hand. Also remember that jobs are not lost. They are just only transformed. So don't worry about losing jobs. Upskilling is correct. And please keep in mind that before we did not have prompt engineers. So what are prompt engineers? These are the guys that basically sort data, garbage in, garbage out. Artificial intelligence relies heavily on billions of data for it to be able to generate accurate and sound judgment or reports. The other reason why it's not going to take over our jobs, maybe at this time, very difficult for an AI to answer the question why. Why was my loan not approved? Why don't you like me? Why, and things like that. So the other what, if, and all of those other things can be addressed by AI, but they are just some things that human intervention will always be needed. And that's where we come in, and we make sure that we upskill and we are ready to adapt and to adjust with the times. Thank you.
Good. Anybody else want to talk about, please?
Thank you, Richard. More on digital transformation. CIB.O has always been advocating a lot about digital transformation, especially our small and medium enterprises, not just in the IT BPM industry, but the manufacturing, the traditional industries in the Philippines, specifically in Cebu. What we're concerned a lot is the digitization or digital transformation of the local governments, the ease of doing business. You know, government agencies love a lot of paper. We work closely with TESDA. We have to deal with a lot of paper. But of course, we're partners with them in upskilling, reskilling, retooling our people. City Hall, they love a lot of paper. Industries like us have to be very dynamic in our operations because if we have a problem in fixing our documentation, then it takes time. It delays a lot of things. Last year, 20 new companies in the industry came to Cebu. Half of them went to PESA and the Board of Investments. Around 10 of them opted not to deal with PESA and BOI because of the paperwork. So, see, that's a 50-50 chance. Those who endured, they dealt with government. Those who cannot endure with the bureaucracy and are pissed with non-digitalization, they opted to operate as a regular corporation. If we have a very efficient system and fully digitalized services in the Philippines, I'm sure more investors will come. And I believe we can compete globally because other countries are offering a lot of incentives already. We're still behind in dealing with investors and enticing them to come to Cebu. Some of our colleagues here were talking about talent requirements earlier. It's good that we have rebounded from what we used to have during the COVID years. Imagine for 2 years we only produced around 20,000 people. Our universities in Cebu. Last year, CHED gave a record of around 40,000. So we rebounded from the previous 20,000 for 2 years. But still, we have to reskill, retool, upskill the graduates. We also have a problem with the academe. They are also losing their educators to the industry. And especially on the IT side. If they cannot maximize their teaching capability because they're losing their people. Instead of taking about 1,000 graduates, they can only take about 40% because they have no educators. So those are among the concerns that we have to deal with. And of course, it's part of our topics in the Digital Transformation Summit that we are having on June 28th. So that's a signature industry event for the IT BPM industry. And it's taking place at Marco Polo Hotel. So if you're interested to know more about digital transformation and how CIB.O is doing it, please log on to summit.cib.org.ph. Apologies for the plug, Richard.
It's okay. It's a good, it went in well. Please, another question here.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Renee from the Freeman, and this question is for Sir Patrick Gloria, the Vice President and External Affairs of Globe Telecom. Here is the question. Given your significant presence and influence in Cebu, How does your company promote corporate governance and sustainable business practices among its clients? Can you provide examples of initiatives or programs that emphasize ethical standards, transparency, environmental responsibility, and long-term sustainability? Thank you.
Sorry, can you do that from the top? No, just kidding. I think it's the same question as earlier. There's a lot. It's telco, right? So there's a lot of things you can do as sustainability, right? One is education. I think education is the most important thing, right? We are either undereducated or not educated at all. And there's a lot of that. And you'll see it because technology moves forward, but education is at a slow pace. We need to wrap this up because they're not together. They're not traveling at the same speed, right? Second is technology, because we are a techo company. Everything else is based on technology. So you have to be aware of the things that you put out there, right? You have to be aware of the environment, otherwise you'll be criticized, especially by the Freeman, who I know because I invite them to the Christmas parties. But it's true. You have to be conscious about it. The word sustainable doesn't mean one time, big time. You feed the poor, that's it. No, it has to be repeating and self-generating and all of that, right? So let me give you an example. Cell sites, important. It's not going to go away. As I said earlier, it's just going to add and add and add. The question is, how much power does it use? A lot of power. What are we doing? We now have 21 cell sites on full power base on renewable energy, which we are partnering, again, going back, partnering. Ayala Energy. I'm not promoting Ayala Energy. I'm just saying there are partners that it now self-sustain the power of these cell sites, and later on we're gonna roll it out to all our cell sites, so that now even if there's no power, which happens in most of the municipalities, right? You don't have you have rotational brownouts. You don't have that problem anymore, right? Also, going back to partnering, we partner with a lot of, as someone mentioned earlier, we can't do this by ourselves. We need somebody to partner with because they are the experts in this field. So it's either we partner with a foundation or whoever, so that we ensure that we become responsible. One of the partners that we have is Ayala Business Club too. All right, so we feed off on each other, understand what needs they have, what we need, and then we bring it all together and make it happen, right? It really gives you a perspective of what are the things that you should be focusing on. Because there's a whole bunch of things we can focus on, right? But nothing really gives you a big impact. You just concentrate on the critical few that can really move the needle for it, right? So basically that's it. Those are some of the things that we are, oh, by the way, if you've gone around Cebu, you won't see any tarps. So do you see any tarps? Tarpaulins lying around? We got rid of that already. Okay? Or if we did put one, those are recyclables. Meaning, we put it up, then after the event, we pull it down, paint it white, do it again, and then post it up, right? So you'll see it. Banderitas, you don't see that anymore, right? So those are some of the things. Of course, there's a lot of things we can also help with. Some of them we know, some of them we don't know. I think Sir Jericho's hydro plantation building, hydroponics was pretty awesome. Okay, I think that's something, I don't know, can we do that on a bigger scale? Maybe, yes, right? So there are some of the things we can really help, especially the farmers here, right? If there's something that happens, like a death happened, everything broke down, wala na, right? So basically that's it. Did I answer your question? Yeah, okay.
Sorry, Richard. Earlier, Patrick mentioned something that if you can be asked hard questions. So I was just, I picked up this about Starlink, Elon Musk. So is that coming into the Philippines? And if it does, how is it going to affect telco business?
Yeah, we
Because-
hate
yeah.
him. No, actually, it's okay. I mean, it's inevitably you will, again, I'm from Globe. I have a D to SIM. I have a smart SIM, right? And I asked load from Hazel, right? It's just redundancy. It is redundant. And in fact, all of you should have, right? All of you must have redundancies. If one breaks down, you can't afford, like Patrick here. If his Tech Mahindra office breaks down because of Globe,
They're smart.
right, they're smart. Or PLDT.
Dito.
Yeah, there's Dito, there's Converge. All of them are from PLDT or Globe anyway. They used to be, most of them I trained. So, but yes, to your question, sorry, what was your question again? Starlink, yeah, Starlink. Starlink is basically designed for areas where we don't have facilities, right? Remember, we're 7,000, pila na gani? 7,100? No, more.
Depends. High tide or
High tide. Million people. Okay. Right. So it's very difficult to put up fiber lines. You know how difficult it is? You know, so let me explain it to you so that you guys understand. So when you see fiber in Cebu, may source yan, right? It has a source somewhere. And it's not from here. Right? It goes underwater, across the Pacific, going to somewhere else, like in the US, right? And Miss Earl, right? Because Miss Earl used to be from Globe, right? And now, like, she does all that. And it's not easy. It's not easy. So, when those things break because of natural causes, you need backup, right? Starlink is one solution that can help you. If you have islands that that are off the grid, then that's a solution. Who knows? Maybe the telcos, some of us telcos are working on other low orbital internet solutions. No, it's probably not the same capacity, but it gets you connected, right? So to your question, Sir Jericho, yes, important is Starlink. Okay, on the top, I was telling Hazel. In symposiums or meetings or conferences like this, we're called telco. But when you go down the line to the streets, oh, he's my enemy. Right? It's like, oh, that's my sale, not yours. Right? But here, and even if we've always been invited by the governor and the city mayors like Mandaue, Cebu City, and Lapu-Lapu primarily. When we go there, it's basically telco. Doesn't matter what it is, because what we want is what everybody wants. Okay, and if you want what we get, the people get what they want, right? So, so to everybody else, remember, have a redundancy. It doesn't matter what it is. What works for you is what we will honor, definitely.
Very good. Please, another question here. Yeah, good answer. Good answer.
Thank you.
My question would go to Jericho Go, and as requested by one of the panelists, we have to master a difficult question. So my question
That's
is...
for him, not me.
Oh,
Okay.
Anyway.
I never asked for difficult questions.
But this is not difficult at all. So the question is like this, but let me give first an introduction. Oh, I am May Liu. I am a member of Cebu Chamber of Commerce, and hi to our very handsome president. And I would like to say very thank you to Robinson's Land. Indeed, what you said earlier, that for people who live in the provinces, it takes too long for us to ride escalator. Can you just imagine, we have to wait for Christmas so that we can travel to Cebu or to Manila just to ride escalator and to watch a movie in IMAX. Now that we have Robinsons in Tacloban City, where I grew up, see, that is Robinson's Land. Okay, another, it's here. We appreciate indeed your excellent increasing value to the shareholder by providing high quality real estate spaces. My question is, there is a program of your organization about commercial real estate investment trust, which actually in the financial literacy of the Filipino people is not very common indeed. In fact, we Filipinos, a majority of us, are so traditional in our financial management. So how do you advocate this rate? Because this is a strong movement to alleviate poverty. And how do your organization increase financial literacy to the ordinary Filipino people? Thank you.
Thank you. That's a very beautiful question. Thank you very much. You're correct, no? That real estate investment trust is a very powerful vehicle that promotes financial literacy amongst Filipinos. Can you imagine how many of us, not even a single one of us in this room, can afford to put up 5 billion pesos for one building? But imagine if that were put into a real estate investment trust for as little as 7,000 pesos. If it's 7 pesos per share, 1,000 shares, depends on the share price, 7,000 pesos, you can now be called owner of that particular building. And because that building, by law, you have to distribute 90% of the income. By law, you have to distribute to the shareholders in the form of dividend, and you do it on a quarterly basis. So you're sure to get money out of it instead of putting your. Are there any banks here? But anyway, so instead of putting it in low interest yielding, maybe high risk, here because of good corporate governance, it's Robinsons, the brand is very established. You know that your money is going to be well taken care of. And more importantly, without the hassle of having to manage the building yourself. There are risks. If the tenant goes away, it's your problem to find a replacement tenant. If something breaks down, it's your problem to... No, not the case. It's Robinsons, the REIT, that will do that. RCR. That's our REIT, by the way, if you want to buy RCR. No, I'm not plugging, but the real estate investment trust, one of the largest, most diversified asset in the Philippines. No? So recently, we just reported that even the malls are also being brought in as part of the REIT. So not just office, also malls, and eventually other asset classes, depending on the timing. Because the malls have already recovered. So to answer the question, obviously, through conferences like this, hopefully we can create literacy with regards to real estate investment trust, and also social media. We're trying to tap social media as well, and we're trying to be very vocal. We try to attend a lot of these conferences to be able to promote a financial literacy for Filipinos. Because you see, the more Filipinos are able to save, the more that they're able to invest at some future time, and that goes back into nation building. So for us, rest assured that we will be very committed in helping promote financial literacy through RCR Real Estate Investment Trust. Thank you.
Very good question. I'm glad the question was asked and the question was answered. Very good. Please.
Yeah, I agree with Sir Jericho. Literacy, particularly financial literacy, is everybody's business. Okay? What do you hear when people say, go study this app or go study this app? The first thing that you hear is, I'm too old. There's no such thing as you're too old. Right? People should understand that everything can be learned. And those that learn are the ones that actually know how to decide, because they have the knowledge, the understanding to decide. And then they just take the better course. Right? For those that do not, and let me give you a typical example. Who among you here are GCash users? Raise your hand. All right. Who among you here have been hacked by GCash? O nailad sa GCash? Or nailad by somebody? Wala pa? Good for you. We probably don't use your GCash, but a lot of people do. Right? And it's because people really don't take the time to understand because they feel that, to the point of Sir Jericho, it's the same thing with rate, right? Now he's giving us a tip. I didn't know that. So now I know, so I'm just, now that's an option that we can invest, right? It's also the same thing for, GCash, right? GCash now, did you know that you can save with GCash as well? That there's G-Gives. See? Basta utang gani, By shopping, right? See, so what am I saying? All I'm saying is that in order for a municipality, a city, whatever, to move on, it really depends on how we educate them, right? It really depends on each and every one of you, right? Let me give you an example. Bohol. Did you know, I was there in Bohol. I talked about livable cities in Bohol 2 weeks ago. And the mayor there, Mayor Jane Yap, actually, and I didn't know that. She said, dinigitize na namin lahat. We digitized everything. Here we go again with the digitized. Do you really know? But what she did was, she did something further. She taught all of the constituents in the city hall, right? How many days do we get a permit in our places? A week? 2 weeks? Then, because it's all digitized, it's all online, it's all payment, fintech, and all of that, renew a permit. If you get a new permit, it's within 2 days. If you renew a permit, it's within the day. You see how the difference it is? The difference, right? It makes you more efficient without having to go through the difficult part of going to the city hall and lining up in the heat and all of that. Okay, so thank you.
Okay, please, another question here.
Hello, good afternoon. I'm Romel Kamatigue from Innodata. The question I'm about to ask, it's for Mr. Stefan Billy. The question I'm about to ask may appear to have an obvious answer, but let me ask it anyway. Based on your experience and perspective, how critical is it for a company to be able to successfully adapt to the ever-evolving landscape of the industry where they belong in? And if there's one specific advice you can give to companies having challenges adapting to these changes and remaining competitive, what would it be?
Interesting question. So for those who don't know, Lexmark plays in the imaging business, which is another way to say the printing business. So we sell printers. That was interesting, the comment about the LGUs here in the Philippines using so much paper. That's the dream country for a company like Lexmark, by the way, because we like when customers are printing. But to be honest, I mean, I'm as the president of the company here in the Philippines, after being here for a year and a half, having to sign so many documents, I wish that there was more digitization or digitalization in the Philippines. But to answer your question, in the printing industry is a very competitive industry around the world. I've been with Lexmark for 32 years, and we pretty much have a restructuring every 3 to 4 years at Lexmark, but that's true for every single industry in the company, in every single company in the printing industry. So that says that if you want to survive, you need to adjust continuously and make sure that you're going to stay competitive. And there are a lot of employees at Lexmark who've been with the company for many, many years. So they survived all those restructuring. And they survived because they were able to adjust as well, to adapt, to learn from all the programs that we have internally to make sure that they stay attractive to the company, that they have the skills and qualities that are needed for Lexmark to be successful. And for us to keep continuing being successful like this, I mean, we need to really develop our culture, an environment or maintain an environment where employees are willing to keep learning every single day, so that they can keep delivering value to Lexmark as a company. And I think that's what every single company should be doing. And yes, it's a competitive environment, but it's also an exciting environment. I would hate living or working for a company that is so stable that you get bored. So I wish that someday it would be a little bit less hectic as it is sometimes. But I believe in the being able to find new resources to find a new way to grow and develop within a company. And I think that many companies are doing that in order to maintain their attractivity.
Okay, please, I think we've done really well today. We got a question here, please. Carlos is going to stand up for us. Very good.
Hi, good afternoon. I'm very impressed by this panel, and so I would like to take an opportunity to ask a question to Jerry Go, and eventually also to the telecommunication people. Since I've been newly elected in the trustee board of the Cebu Chamber of Commerce, and I love Cebu for almost 28 years, and being an Italian, of course, I know what happened in our country. Since the Roman time, we have had fundamentals, things like the aqueducts and the infrastructure. Straight to the question, since now Mr. Frederick Go is close to the top of the country, how about to use the fantastic facilities of your corporation to also enter a little bit on the infrastructure project? Because as businessmen here, I think that, and Jay, I think you can confirm, we suffer a little bit of infrastructure. I don't want to criticize government and other things, but it's the story in this way. In Cebu, in the last 30 years, I have seen things. The city grows like crazy, everything grows, but probably the public sector is a bit too slow. We have seen this beautiful bridge. We have been, this entire facility has been done. If you go to BGC Manila or IT Park here, looks like we are in Singapore. So the Philippines can do, and can do very well. So an invitation to see if also your conglomerates can even enter into infrastructure. Sorry to mention, I love Cebu, but there is not enough water. You know what I mean.
Thank you for the question. It's something obviously that we're always open to these kinds of opportunities, and we miss the secretary a lot. I don't get to see him anymore, except in conferences because he's now in government. He did a very big sacrifice. He gave up over 100 corporations that he's director in and that he manages. And now, obviously, I don't ask how much he's getting paid there, but it's a huge pay cut for sure. It's almost like giving your expertise for free. But infrastructure definitely. As a matter of fact, in one of our projects in Bridgetown, we had to pay and invest in the bridge ourselves to be able to connect Quezon City to Pasig. And again, all of you are most welcome to visit Bridgetown. And we're doing a lot of that on our own. I think private enterprises. Cebu, definitely, as you see, we have this development, New Star. Across the street, we have another 3 hectares. And we also have a development in Mactan. So it is also to our interest to improve accessibility to that part of town. And I think better things are here to come now that we have a huge investment in this site, SRP. Of course, we also have a presence in Mactan. Remember, we also have Cebu Pacific. So being able to connect all of these things together, the airport, to New Star, to Mactan, we have Dusit, is something that we look forward to. So that is definitely something that we are open and happy to have a dialogue with the organization and to sit down and hopefully get a chance to also speak again to the secretary if he has free time. So now we'll probably approach him as a separate entity, as a private citizen who's concerned about this country. And we're just great. I think we're happy that he's doing a great job in the government. Ease of doing business. He's done so much to be able to improve our stock market, to be able to improve ease of doing business in the Philippines. So we're grateful for his sacrifice, no, for our country. So thank you for that question. And before I forget, oh, she left already. The share price is 5.27 pesos per share, 5,270 pesos. You can be a shareholder already. And the yield is 7.45%, so it's not so bad. Wow. Okay, thank you.
That's a lot.
Oh, there you are.
Did Jay wants to?
Yeah. Can I have a quick rejoinder with what Mr. Jericho mentioned? As I said, I wanted to, very quickly elucidate on the leadership agenda of the chamber. Lead, launch the Cebu brand, letter L. E, engage the business community beyond the four walls of the chamber. A is activate partnerships, like what I said earlier. Letter D is develop an ecosystem for innovation and creativity. And then we added two more letters, if you may. ER, leader. Establish projects, legacy projects. This beautiful third bridge is a project. It's a legacy project. This New Star complex is a legacy project. It helps the economy of Cebu. And the R is like results, relevant results. So that is not the agenda of the chamber. It is actually a call out to action. Because to be competitive globally is to develop more leaders. Leaders like you, and every one of us. If we want this nation to grow, to prosper, the leader in you has to be activated. So that agenda of the chamber is a process in itself and a call to action. First is be the brand, launch the brand for Cebu, for the Philippines. Engage the community, businesses, people, organizations, activate partnerships because we cannot do it alone. There's expertise in the different segments of society. Then we can develop that innovation culture and do projects like this. So this is the only way that we can make, I don't want to use the Trump statement, we can make the Philippines great again.
You are taking a risk saying that. Okay, please, question here.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you so much for this discussion. My name is Pushpesh. I'm representing Wipro Philippines INC. My question is from Patrick from Globe and Hazel. And then this question is as a user. Any plans to slash internet the data prices?
Definitely not. You see, as a businessman, you know for a fact, and let me just say this out loud, you never compete on price. You compete on service. On top of the service. On top of the service, yeah? Okay? And then add value to that. Because in any business course that you take, they're not going to suggest to you to lower down the price. You build on quality, you build on service, excellent service which is very hard to do, by the way. I've been doing it for like 27 years and I'm still doing it, right? But that is the call. Now, you develop more products and innovation that will suit the customer. Not because it's your research that says, oh, he needs this. No, to the point of Hazel, we want to understand what the need of the customer is. It's not even the want, it's the need. Because if they have a lot of, you guys have a lot of wants, right? Sometimes your want is not really what you need, right? I need a new pair of shoes, but you already have a pair of shoes, right? No, I want a cold hand. Yeah, but you already have a Florsheim, so what? Right? So it's a different it's a different discussion on a need and a want. So that's the first thing you need to understand. Then you develop around the need of the customer, right? A lot of companies, Globe included, revolve on the premise that we have sales targets. And that's the downfall of every company, including me. I used to think that way. I have targets, I have to meet them. But I really didn't understand what does my customer need. I guess it's because of age, when you become old, you become, ano kailangan. But it's true, right? So that's how we do it. Like, for example, anybody here has Wi-Fi in the house? How much do you pay for it? 2,000. Right? Some of you have prepaid probably, right? Right? You have prepaid, you load it every now and then, right? So we asked people, so what do you want in a product such as this? Oh, we want the backhaul of a fiber, but we want the flexibility of prepaid. We don't want to pay with it every month, right? And I had a discussion with RLC. I thought, look, we made a research already. We asked the customers what they, we developed around what they need, and we came up with what we call, I'm not promoting, but it's called Globe Fiber Prepaid. It's fiber backhaul, but now you have the choice. I can load this today for 700 a month, unlimited 50 Mbps. Oh, next month I won't use it, so I won't load it. I'll just load it the month after. So that's how you do it. See, it now becomes value. Because Cebuanos, I'm not from Cebu, I'm from Bacolod. We're more Tikalan than we are value for money, right? Cebuanos, you need to understand, value for money. Okay, it doesn't matter how much it is. If they feel that it's value for money, they will buy it. But if it's not value for money, they won't get it. If a Cebuano talks to another Cebuano and says, buy it because I already tried it, they'll buy it. But if you ask them to ask a person from Manila, they won't. So you need to understand the customers first and then work from there. Did I answer it?
Okay.
Buy my fiber prepaid, okay? That's my need.
Okay. I know we've got one more. We're okay?
Well, actually, Mr. Gloria said it all. We cannot lower down the price, but we add value-added services that will further improve the service, address your pain points, address your challenges. But with regards to price, I think it's impossible.
Okay, good answer. If I could ask, I know there's one more question here, but if I could ask Dagny Estacio, who's been very patiently, but you know, Concentrix, as the country's largest private sector employer, 107,000 people, something like that, employee engagement. Now, Concentrix is known for keeping their people. How do you keep in such a size, people, you know, they feel that they're connected and so forth. And I know that, you know, you spend a lot of money, bring your young workers to house them in this beautiful facility so that's an example of things. But what other things do you do to keep your people, you know, excited and working at Concentrix?
Yeah, thank you. So one of the most important things that we really value in Concentrix is culture. We believe culture really trumps everything else, right? And you hear it a lot that people leave not because of the salary, but the environment that they work in, the boss they report to, because that dictates the hours in the day, right? So Concentrix really takes time to look at employee survey responses. Really, we take that to heart. We look at the feedback that we get year on year. And for the past 5 years, our ESAT rate has been in an upward trend because we really take it seriously. To your point, we invest on like family days. One upcoming is at the end of the month, wherein we house close to like 30 to 40,000 Cebuano families and have an event in the open grounds of SMC side. And then we house our employees here in the Philly hotel. I think we've took up like over 150 rooms or something for the end of the month. And that's just to further sort of underline how important our staff is to us, right? Sometimes for most companies, people hear that their staff are important, that we're investing out in development, things like that. For the younger generation, they sometimes need the more tangible, real-time incentives to really feel the value and the attention that sometimes the Gen Zs feel and need. So we have that balance with all the upscaling, retraining, retooling that's happening inside. But on the other side, we also take time to really invest on these items. And we're seeing the return of investments on those things. On top of the family day, we're looking at improving all of our facilities. One major improvement that we did in the past year is Cebu Exchange, which is our biggest and newest flagship site for Concentrix. It's not the biggest in the country. We launched like 5 floors last year. We have built into it recreational areas, wellness areas, areas. So we have a gym, we have an arcade area, a karaoke room, a couple more other features, just to further sort of emphasize how staff wellness, staff overall well-being is critical to the company. And again, it has brought in a lot of the return of investment when it comes to those items. This year, we're adding 3 more floors to Cebu Exchange. So by the end of the year, it's going to house 6,000 employees all in one building. And all of the new floors will also have new features and facilities for our staff.
Wow, everybody can learn from the things that they're doing. Please, last question, please.
Okay, hi everyone. I'm Lois Mandiadi from PwC. So we've talked about transformation, we've talked about adapting with the times, and we've heard about the initiatives done by Concentrics to keep the people. So I'm just curious, this is an open question. I'm curious, how do you as leaders at your level empower your people to succeed and thrive in the organization?
That's a good ending question, a very good, who's got some, Pat?
Thanks for that. In Tech Mahindra, one of our strategic business imperatives is to create a work environment of choice. Right? I'm sure every organization, the human resources is very important. For us, the theme that we have is what we call One Tech Malasakit. No? So Tech Mahindra, and we promote Malasakit as part of our culture at all levels, no? Leadership, middle management, especially on the front lines. But when we say One Tech Malasakit, one actually stands for outstanding, nurturing, and empowering leaders. Right? We make sure that we support our leaders, our front lines, so that they can develop themselves in their career. They achieve their aspirations. We create systems, support systems, for them to be able to go through those challenges. That's making them outstanding. Not only in the Philippines or in Cebu, but also globally. Nurturing. It's not about I am great, I'm the best. Because if you're the best, how can I promote you? No one's going to replace you, right? So nurturing, it means that you need to have mentees that you're actually developing, that you're helping. Everybody here, every successful person, ask them. They have more than one coach or one mentor, more than one mentor that helped them become successful, right? And empowering, through empowerment, not just a nice poster on the wall that says we empower people, we love our people, no, right? It talks about really creating programs that support the culture, that really bring it forward. I'll just give one example that we do in Tech Mahindra. We have what we call open mic. The open mic survey is not just any other employee satisfaction survey. Open mic, MIC, means my insights count. All right? What we promote is not the score. Yeah, there's a Likert score, like 1 to 5, right? But what we promote is the comments. Tell us all the complaints, the grievances, all the escalations. Tell me who's the power tripping leader or whatever system's not working, support's not working, etc. Give us all your complaints, and the commitment is within 2 weeks, I will get back to you as the leadership. I will get back to you and tell you what we can solve, what we cannot, and what we need more time on because we need to consult our people or get more approvals or budget. Right? But the aim is to squeeze out as much, tell me everything, all the negatives, right? Tell me all the negatives, because we'd like to create that work environment of choice. Thank you.
Well, I'm the odd organization here because they represent corporations, and I represent the chamber. It's kind of difficult, because we're a volunteer organization. So I was asked, what is really the relevance of the chamber? And my answer was, the usual. I spoke about the purpose, the mission, and the vision of the chamber. But I would like to borrow to the point of Mr. Jericho Go. We got to be purpose-driven, because we're like a church. The chamber is like a church. We evangelize people to be globally competitive, while the church preach on moral laws and relationship with your creator. But ours is really about to be globally competitive. How is Cebu tourism compared to Bali? How is the financial center in Cebu as a regional hub compared to the likes of Tokyo or whatever. We have to be world class. So what we did, this is one of the purpose that we did. We have the CIDCC, and we saw that there's a gap. What is the branding or the positioning statement of Cebu? And this is the product. Invest in Cebu, prosper in paradise. You know, in Metro Manila definitely cannot claim the word paradise. Palawan, Boracay, yes. But to prosper there, the opportunities that abound, we have it here in Cebu. So it's a good balance between the lifestyle and the opportunities that abound in Cebu. That is a purpose-driven rallying point for all of us in Cebu to promote Cebu, to launch the brand for Cebu. But to answer that, you can clap. Thank you. I hope that's a validation that we made a good job in terms of the brand positioning for Cebu. Okay, but to answer the question, I think for the leadership to rally the people towards this purpose is to show and tell. You know, we are volunteers. Trustee Carlo here. We spend a lot of hours discussing these things in the board. And it's really show and tell. We want to show people with clarity and with accuracy in the things that we do. Because if there is clarity, there is wisdom, there is power. And if there is accuracy in terms of numbers, where we are now and where we want to go. We want to increase our membership from the 800 plus today to 1,000, more than 1,000 by the end of our first year of office. We've got to be very clear. We are going to have, from the 30 plus partners now, we're targeting 100 plus partners because we want to activate partnerships. We want to show and tell. That's the only way.
Richard, one last thing. So we to our business people, we give discount to real estate. So if you want, it's just a matter of getting it the right time, getting the space now, and getting in volume. So if you want to get discount, come approach our team here. JV, please stand up. So for corporates, for BPO companies, MNCs, we are happy to support you with world-class BPO grade office buildings. And it's available now, high quality. In Cebu, we have that space available as well. And we are prepared to work with you to help your business grow, give you the right discount that you need, where you need it, when you need it. So just come and approach us and we'll work with you. Thank you.
Okay. Anybody else? Or this has been just a fantastic session. Okay, I think we're okay. So, yeah, we can come up. We have some really good speakers. Jay here sounds like a motivational preacher or something, right? The church concept was a good one. Okay, so please come on and stand up and let's have a hand for everybody.
May I request
Oh yeah, we got a photo.
Stand for a photo op.
Please come on forward
Picture
here,
taking
everybody.
time.
Let's squeeze together and let's have some photos. This is Philippines. We need photos. Okay. Okay, thank you very much.
May I request Mr. Patrick Gloria of Globe Telecommunication, Patrick Salazar of Tech Mahindra, Hazel Amoyan of PLDT, and Jericho Go of RL Commercial REIT. Please remain on stage. Mr. Patrick Gloria, kindly remain on stage. Patrick Salazar, Hazel Amoyan, and Jericho Go. Thank you.
I'll ask Lloyd Omandam, the head of the Visayas region for Airspeed International, to give our closing remarks. He's been eager to do it, so here we go.
Please don't go yet. Please hear me. I promise this is going to be very quick. No? May hapon sa tanan, no? May hapon. Leaders, all leaders, it's a privilege to address you as we wrap up this successful Asia CEO Cebu. I'm Lloyd Umandam from the Airspeed Group. Please allow me to share something about Airspeed. We are a end-to-end logistic service provider. We thank all participants, speakers, and organizers for their contributions. The theme highlighting leadership excellence aligns with our perspective in all industries. Leadership goes beyond guiding a company. It involves innovating, setting benchmarks, and providing value to stakeholders. At Airspeed, we link leadership with logistics excellence, showcasing our commitment to performance, improvement, and delivering results in a dynamic industry. The forum emphasized the industry's role in our economy, focusing on agility, sustainability, and collaboration. We explored leveraging tools like predictive analytics and real-time tracking systems for operational enhancement. Our speakers shared about their strategies on having a customer-first mindset, competitiveness of Cebu in terms of growth, the need of strong partner for connectivity, and putting sustainability as a forefront of growing our businesses. Of course, we cannot forget that two videos that shared by our friend Jericho, no, which brought us to tears earlier. For Airspeed, leadership means investing in people and fostering innovation and growth to build resilient teams. Today, at the Asia CEO Forum in Cebu, we have seen industry's broader impact. Effective logistics drive markets, support communities, and spur economic growth. We expand to new locations, enhance logistics technology, and offer services like e-commerce fulfillment to meet market needs. We also have a new SME program dedicated to small and medium enterprises aiming to grow their businesses. Let's carry what we have learned and continue leading with vision, integrity, and excellence. I extend my gratitude once again. Together, we can raise leadership as what Sir Jay mentioned earlier, the standards. Thank you, and let's continue our journey towards excellence. Safe travel, and see you again at the next Asia CEO Forum.